अफोर्डेबल, एक्सेसिबल एंड उसका जो भी नीड्स है वो किस तरीके से बाहर आए और वो जैसे एज पर द नीड उसको हम किस तरीके से हर एक आदमी को पहुंचा सके। तो ये जो बात है यही इसका उद्देश्य है। ज्यादा समय ना लेके मैं नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट टू डू डॉक्टर शलत सर. शलत सर is executive chairman of the NCCSD and I request Shallad sir for his address. Sir.
Pranam.
Pranam sir.
Thank you, Nisha. Welcome, Dr. Shende. As Nisha mentioned, Dr. Shende has worked as a Director General of UNEP, which is working at an international level on same subject, and was headquartered in Paris and is now in Pune and doing a lot of work. And we are all delighted to have you all different stakeholders on this very important subject. Before I say a few words about solar energy itself, we are looking from development point of view that we are now in the fourth phase of India's development. First phase was a difficult phase. We had famines, we had droughts, we had shortage of food, we were importing food, we had huge migrations. Second phase was our phase of development, which started in late 50s and 60s and 70s, where we could start with land reforms and developed our basic infrastructure. Third phase was transformal phase for the rural development, which was led by Green Revolution. And in the fourth phase, which started, followed by the decade of 90s, where changes transformed Indian economy, was related to 2000 years in a row. India is now in threshold of breaking many barriers of development and becoming a country which can be called developed country and a dominant country in international trade. Our thinking is based on the fact that India is the second largest arable land in the world. And we have adaptive farmers, a government which is politically very powerful and inclined for development, led by Prime Minister Shri Modi. And therefore, we can supply to the world food. And food is going to be most important instrument in the years to come, instead of atom bombs or any of other missiles. Country which has a food, country which can supply the food will dominate the world. And we are in that process. But while doing that, we have to look at nexus of food, water and energy nexus. And we started with agriculture in the beginning of pandemic last year and developed this Atmanirbhar Agriculture Vision 2030 India book, which was released, the compendium was released by Vice Chairman Niti Aayog. And objective was to how agriculture can be taken forward. And there comes two steps. One, we should have energy security and efficient use of energy. And second, followed by that, we need to have efficient use of water. We may have good water quantity, but efficient use of water. So when we come to energy security for rural areas, we realize that we have multiple sources of energies. But they are not used efficiently. They are not used in an integrated manner. And solar energy is one of the most important source because we have largest number of sunny days. We have longest hour of sunny time. And we have a huge open area where this can be harnessed. It can be harnessed on our wasteland. It can be harnessed on our canal land. It can be harnessed on rooftops and on farmlands. And even the electrical lines, the high tension lines which are laid across, we can harness by putting solar equipments and panels and everything. So we have a great potential and country is exploring this potential. As per the recent estimate which has come, we have already we have planned for 390 GW of this, and we have already got solar and wind 106. So we country is under the leadership of the Prime Minister, who in his last Independence Day speech called for energy security call, is going on a very big way in solar energy. So we have a platform, we have schemes, we have funding. Question is how to make its efficient use, how to make available every village house a rooftop solar appliances. Today in urban areas we find society where I am staying in Ahmedabad, my society has got 40 plots, 36 have solar rooftops. But when we go outside skirts of Ahmedabad, there are hardly any villages which have a rooftop on farmers' house. And here they find difficult because the energy supply by DISCOM is disrupted, which is subsidized. DISCOMs are not finding it viable, therefore they give less number of supply, and therefore there is a problem or crunch, and then they go on diesel generation. So they use energy but from a different form, and then there is a wastage of energy. While solar being available, we are not able to use it. So this challenge we have to take up. How do we popularize it? What kind of solar rooftops we need, which can be popular with farmer? What kind of solar appliances can be applied in farm where evacuation is proper? What kind of funding needs to be done? Because funding is a major issue in rural areas. We had a scheme in Dhundi. Somebody has started. Kindly put off your micro. Yeah, in Dhundi village of Anand, 11 farmers set up a village cooperative and started selling electricity to the DISCOM. And they started earning money because farmer doesn't require energy for round the clock on the farm. They had extra. An idea was to make solar energy itself as a alternative, sustainable, permanent source of income. So this scheme became successful but not replicated. Why? It only remained to 11 farmers. Since last 2017, it was introduced. It has not gone for everybody. Now, that even if crop fails, solar sun is going to be there. Energy can be produced. Energy needs are high. Energy can be sold by farmer, but this is not happening. So our purpose of today's seminar is to address these issues. Not that we do not have schemes, not that we do not have government support, not that we do not have organizations, DISCOMs, and the individual entrepreneurs who are supplying this. But why it is not becoming way of life in rural areas? Like any other thing, we have a pressure cooker in the kitchen. We have gas cylinder in kitchen. Why not solar rooftop in every housetop, or why not solar appliance in every farm? That is the question we would like to address. And we request all the Pandits or experts who are with us today to deliberate on this and guide us further so we can take it further with Niti Aayog, who has an active interest, and also Honorable Prime Minister, the Minister for the development of power development in Government of India and state government. Everybody is interested how to take it forward. With these words, I thank Nisha for giving me opportunity to speak, and we welcome you all again on this important deliberation. Thank you very much for with us. Pranam, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your guidance. And now I request to Professor Rajendra Shandeji, because I already mentioned Dr. Mamta Verma will join later. And Professor Rajendra Shandeji is chairman of the TERI Policy Center and former director of the UNEP. He's the chairman of the International Advisory of the Operation of the Earth, China, and the chairman of the Working Committee of the International Solar Appliances. So I already, because Shandeji is a very much senior person, and today we are lucky. We have Rajendra Shandeji with us for this webinar. And on behalf of all of us, sir, I warmly welcome to you and I request to you for your guidance. Sir.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me congratulate NCCSD for this series of webinars, particularly emphasizing agriculture, rural area, and Atmanirbhar Bharat. And I can see that it is being steered well and guided well by Dr. Shelat, who has not only the ideas with him, but also he knows the implementation experience as a Indian Administrative Services. And I've been always watching him as somebody from whom one can learn always. So I'm sure this particular today's sessions will be a learning experience for me. And a lot of things have to be probably understood well, because I think Dr. Shelat put the problems in the right perspective, that why the rural area is not adapting to the solar energy and what exactly are the hurdles in it and how we can overcome those hurdles. It is indeed that you keep on thinking that the food comes from the rural area. So we survive on a rural area. Why not we survive on energy coming from the rural area? And this probably was a dream of Mahatma Gandhi, which is now being carried over by our Prime Minister Modi ji, that we need to emphasize on making sure that rural area has the ability and the skill, just like this, provide the food to the whole of India, to 1.34 billion people. I think rural area has a capacity to provide most of the energy to the whole India. And I think we need to look at that hurdle, and it's really great that NCCSD has developed a vision paper in December 2021 and interacting with Niti Aayog, and I'm sure this will result into an excellent productive exercise. And I look forward to it. So Shelatji, you can not only I'm going to present the thing, something, and keep on talking, but I hope I will be able to walk with you in this, your what is called as a ODC towards the making in India Atmanirbhar in an energy sector and a food sector.
Thank you very much.
I would like to share my screen and start my presentation. I hope you are able to see it. Nishaji, is it clear?
Yes, it is very clear.
Okay. I recall, I think it was in Madrid a couple of years back that we had one session where Dr. Shelat was also present, and we identified food, energy, and water as key problems which are facing the world, which are encapsulated in a formidable challenge called as climate change. I gave a presentation there whose title was FEW, F-E-W, which represented food, energy, and water. And I gave how the integrated solutions for this FEW problem can be really found. Here, I'm taking only the E of the FEW to present to you what is called as energy security in terms of the solar energy as an outlet or as a solution to ensure that energy is available through our own resources, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Many people said that energy security has also part of the food security. It is also the water security. I am of the opinion that energy security is equivalent to national security. If we don't get our energy security right, however is our big military is, or whatever drones we have, or helicopters or submarines we have, It is of no use unless we have energy security there. And that's what I was trying to say, that if at all we have to get this energy security right, we have to begin the exercise not only with the solar energy, but also renewable energy. But one should start it where it matters. There is no point in glorifying the solar energy. There is no point in saying that solar energy is available free because it comes from sun. There is no point in telling that solar energy can solve all our problems. But we have to get it right. And for that, I have titled this presentation as a SUN, which is a Solar University Network. Let's begin by action at the university to make sure that our Atmanirbhar Abhiyan goes on well. And a subsector of that is a solar energy as a part of energy security. That goes on well. And I'm going to present to you in the next 20 minutes or so how that SUN project can proceed. And it is an abbreviation of Solar University Network. Why this presentation? Is a transformative proposal. It is already begun. And it is related to the national security. And it's a 3S: solar, sustainable, and smart. I recall Nisha ji mentioned about smart issues. I would say that solar will make a smart future for our next generation. So 3S, which is the first S of sun. Then there is a 3U. The proposal is unique, unprecedented, and unparalleled. And the last is N out of sun. 3N, which is a networking, sharing of the information. India's NDCs, that nationally determined contributions. And another is Not Zero Net Zero. That is a pledge that my organization, Thayer Policy Center, has composed under the project called as a Smart Campus Cloud Network, which is for the making it neutrality of carbon. The objective is to explore the collaboration, decide on an action, and get going on a job. So just quickly about Smart Campus Cloud Network, which I have been telling that it is a part of the SUN will be the part of the Smart Campus Cloud. It is a global network of educational campuses. And it makes a tangible contribution to SDGs because it encourages the students to come out of the classroom. I'm not saying that you empty the classrooms. Classrooms are important. But at the same time, come out of the classroom and start working in the campus. It's a learning by doing exercise in a campus, whether it is related to the food, whether it is related to the solar energy, or whether it is related to the waste management or the water conservation. And that enhances the cooperation among universities. And it's a skill building initiative. It enhances the social entrepreneurship and responsibility. It has been partnered with UNESCO, which is the Knowledge Society division in Paris. These are the partners with Smart Campus Cloud Network of universities. Particularly, I would like to mention AICTE in India, UNESCO, of course, UGC, and also the GORD, Gulf Organization of Research and Development in Qatar, and Operation Earth in China, and CBC GDF in China. We have moved from MDGs to SDGs now, and some of these SDGs are closely related to the energy security we are talking about. Particularly, we are talking about SDG number 7, which is alternative and clean energy, and then SDG number 13, which is action on climate change, which is closely related to the energy security. So the campus, and particularly the SUN project, is related to SDG number 7, 8. Why we say 8? Because it's a decent work and economic growth. There's a lot of studies available that if the country moves towards the solar energy, the employability of the youth enhances. Those are the practical studies, including International Labour Organization, as well as number of government-led institutions and the private sector. SDG number 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. 11, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption, climate action, and a partnership, of course. Why we selected campuses for this sun is because in a campus, we believe talents are tapped, minds are molded, actions are activated, and innovations are incubated. We have a lot of opportunity to pilot the projects. It has a larger impact that we are dealing with the future policy makers who will be the future leaders who will get developed in the campus. And it also induces in the long term the attitude towards getting SDG ready, which also includes the getting ready for Atmanirbhar Bharat. So what we do in our organization, I'm not going to be sort of advertise it commercially what we are doing in our organization, because I have to come back very quickly to the energy security and the national security through the solar energy. But we are providing a guidelines. Remember, we don't do hand-holding. It's a wrong word. Because you don't require a hand-holding of an innovative, potentially strong community of campuses. In fact, they can hold our hand and show the way. So we only provide the guidance based on what is being happening elsewhere. And we have today 400 plus universities registered in our network. 12 are international. Digital cloud dashboard to share the information digitally, particularly the success stories as well as consumption of water, energy, share of renewable energy. These are all displayed in the dashboard, and that dashboard is ready. Sustainability reports, which are normally given by the corporates, are now being given by the universities. National awards on a clean and smart campus has been initiated by AICTE in close cooperation with our organization, Their Policy Center. The national guidelines of UGC, called as a SATAT, has been initiated, is already one first phase or first edition is already out, and we are now reviewing it. My organization is integral part of it to make sure that national education policy of 2020 is incorporated in it, as well as Prime Minister Modi's announcements on solar energy enhancement and the carbon neutrality, which he gave in a COP26, is also included in it. This is the dashboard. If somebody knows the university's username and the password, you can go to the university's dashboard and see what the university has been doing, what is their real-time measurement of energy consumption, how much is coming by solar energy. And this is an example of one of the MIT ADT in near Pune has given us a permission to show their dashboard. And we don't have time, but we can also show you their present real-time basis, how much is being produced by solar energy. Surprisingly, you will see that saffron color, and I didn't select it because it is a BJP color, but it's a saffron color is a renewable energy share of the university campus energy consumption. It's more than half, much more than half. And the remaining come from the fossil fuel. So the universities are advancing faster than what you can see even in national level. This is just an example of how the practical things are being done in the campuses. This is the air quality index measurement in the campus. And this is also now in a national app that you can see the university's air pollution levels on a SAFAR, that is an app of air quality index in India. Carbon neutral university campuses, 250 universities have taken a pledge to become carbon neutral. The year of getting carbon neutral will be decided by them. But they have said that that will be definitely by 2070, as our Prime Minister has said, maybe much before than that. So let's look at the solar energy. Why we call it is a part of Atmanirbhar? Because we are spending huge amount of our money by importing the fossil fuel. So the top priority is making sure that we become Atmanirbhar in energy generation. Today, if you count what is called as hydro energy, solar, wind, biomass, nuclear, then we are about 40% of our total energy comes from renewable sources. But still 60% is still left, and that is draining away most of our resources in terms of imports required for the energy. Let's look at this renewable energy. The hydro, of course, is quite a large, but is also wind, solar, and other renewable energy. It comes as a major chunk of it. These are some of the examples of the universities who have been inspired by the Sun project and SCCN project, where they have put solar energies on top. This is the example of Symbiosis. This is the example of C.V. Raman College in Bhubaneswar. This is an example of SRM University in Chennai. And the parabolic ones, which you see on the right-hand side of the screen, are mainly for the canteen, for cooking the rice, which of course is an essential food in Chennai and in Tamil Nadu. So it is a smart grid campus. So we are not depending on a main grid of any state electricity board, but we are creating a grid within the campus. The energy demand in university and education campuses can be met with the help of renewable energy alone, and maybe by most of it by solar energy. And once that particular demonstration and that particular piloting goes out to the society, I think the society will start learning by it. And the question which comes, why in certain places we are able to put a solar energy, but other places we are not able to move, that would probably get a jolt. Because these students coming from the universities in cities, in urban area, rural area, tribal area, remote area, these are the students who will be talking to their societies, talking to their parents, talking to their friends, and saying that how the university campus has been successful and how that small exercise can be made into a larger commercial plant. There are, of course, I would always like to say that there are some perceived drawbacks, and I will tell you why I call it perceived drawbacks. The initial cost capital investment is very high in a solar energy. The another is, particularly in a university campus, I've been talking to some of the vice chancellors, and they say that involving students in a sun activity is a distraction from completing the curriculum. And it also requires a huge space, which campuses may not have. And solar energy cannot be used in the night, as we all know it. And the storage issue is an issue. Let me start by telling how the financial engineering in a solar energy is taking place. And that is not only for universities, but this is for the whole country. And our government sector company called as Energy Efficiency Services Limited has come up with a financial model, which is called as a CapEx, boot model, and grants model. You can provide the grants and then start recovering the money from the saved energy. And this has been working in number of campuses, it's been working in number of industries, number of residential societies. So along with the renewable energy and engineering of it, there is also financial engineering taking place. So now those cannot be really called as obstacles. Those are the solutions. So initial investment being large is not a barrier. In fact, it is overcoming the barrier. We are also talking about now not zero, net zero. And Nisha-ji, am I crossing the time limit? Hello?
No, sir, you have a time. So I think we have to today learn from you also, sir. I think you have a time, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so on 12th December 2021, the universities, with the help of AICTE, Energy Efficiency Services Limited, we launched what is called as a SUN program, where every university campus will have their needs of energy satisfied only by solar. And the arrangements is being done for the financial engineering. And I feel that similar studies, similar schemes can be employed with the small farmers, particularly for the pumping systems and also for the lighting arrangement which is required for the farm. I will come back to it soon. But the idea is, and I'm coming. I think there is a mic disturbance. Somebody has kept the mic on, or the not muted his mic. But this is my last but one slide, and then I come back to. There are some other advantages of solar energy which we have not realized, and this is what I discussed with Dr. Shelat, and I would like to present it after I finish my last two slides. My idea is there are no barriers for solar energy. Yes, the storage of energy is the problem, but that is getting solved. Many people say that may get solved, but then what about the e-waste which is being generated by solar panels and the batteries? That also I'm sure will be solved soon. And the dealing with the universities has that advantage. The universities, we are not only supplying the solar energy, we are also supplying innovations, encouraging it to solve the storage problem, to solve what is called as the e-waste management problem. So we are telling universities, just go ahead and do it. Innovate, incubate, and mold your mind for the future. Get ready for the future. You should be future ready. And we are saying that talk to us, that is our TARE Policy Center, but also with a guide and a senior person like Kirit Shelat and his organization, and we will walk the talk with you. That's what we have been telling, and we should keep on talking this to the farmers community group as well. This is our website, and our objective is very simple. No one should be left behind. No farmer, no student, no industry, however small it may be, and no society and no community. Coming back to certain solar energy benefits which we have not realized, and I had a full set of slides, but I don't want to bore you with the slides. But suffice it to say that the solar panel, and I showed that what is happening in France, where I lived for 20 years. We solar energy panels provide shadow. Many people don't realize it because we only seen the rooftop panels. But if you lay the panels on the ground and slightly elevated, the animals love it. I have seen the sheep, cows, and number of maybe hens. They love to stay in that shadow. And remember one thing, with more and more global warming, with the heat getting generated and globe getting warmed, all these farm animals would look for shadows. And solar panels will go give the shadows. Not many people realize it, but the farmers are the first to realize it. And the French farmers, they say that we will have a solar panels, not for only producing energy, but also for providing a shadow to the farm animals. Somebody has said that some of the vegetables can be grown more efficiently in the shadow of solar panels. And I have photographs of that, which I had shown it in Madrid. And Dr. Shelat has seen those photographs. So the productivity of your vegetable horticulture increases with the solar panel shadows. What an advantage. We never thought of it. And lastly, again in Europe, particularly in Spain, where the solar energy or solar heat is much at higher level, people have come up with a solution that solar panels can provide water. Now you will be surprised where the water comes from. In the night, the temperatures go down, and in dews which accumulate on a solar panel, because the solar panels are inclined, they are collected at the bottom, and that becomes a real good source of water. I have seen the solar water ponds, which are nearly half full, which can be utilized during the hot summer. We never realize it. And unless we work with the universities, we will never realize it. Because universities are the wombs of innovation. And I want to emphasize this. We should look at the solar panels out of box, not just who give the energy, but all those things. I stop here. I'm ready to answer the questions. But finally, I want to say that I fully support Dr. Shelart's initiative, which develops the policies for the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Rajendra Sindhi. And just I would like to share, you finish your talk exactly on time, 2:45. So it's, it's like punctuation, whatever. I don't have a word, sir, but you start on the time and finish exactly on the time, and we get lots of new information also from your presentation and from your guidance. So on behalf of Sir, Energy and Petrochemical Department, Government of Gujarat and NCCSD, sir, I'm really thankful to you, and we will keep in touch with you for the future guidance for this particular area of the solar energy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Just I would like to share today, I already mentioned the program and our speakers list, but today we have Dr. C. Lakshma Reddy with us, ADG, Government of India, and he always support NCCSD and these energy sectors. His contribution is a lot. We have a Kanhaiya Lal from the Sadhguru Foundation. We have a Mohanat Pramodji from the GAU. We have a Seema Jaggi, IDG. We have a respected MD sir, and we work a lot with him and from the Uttar Gujarat Wej Company Limited. We have a Dr. Acharya Malai Bhai. We have a Dr. PM Chauhan, VRTI team from the Malai Bhai and Manu Bhai, and all the organizations, farm organizations, NGOs, we all have. So I request all of you, after this speakers' presentations and sharing, I request you, all of you, to share your expertise, sir. So, today we come out with the concrete points, and it is very much useful for our all the stakeholders, and particular, especially from the rural areas, how we can able to access and affordable that solar energy. So, not taking much time, I warmly welcome to all the other experts and speakers on behalf of NCCSD and Government of Gujarat, Energy and Petrochemical Department. Now I request to Dr. Abhinav Trivedi, Niti Aayog, for his address. But first I would like to say thank you so much, Dr. Abhinavji, because your continuous inputs, your continuous guidance, and your help, we are reaching this this webinar, because energy sectors, you help us a lot, you contributed a lot, and you guide us a lot. That's why we identify the good speakers, and we get lots of knowledge also. And based on that, we are thinking about the policy and documentation. So now I request Dr. Abhinav Trivedi ji and Niti Aayog. Thank you so much, and request Abhinav Trivedi ji for his presentation. So.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words, first of all. And at the outset, I would like to welcome all the guests who have joined this webinar on a very important topic on solar energy. I would like to special thanks to Dr. Shelart from NCCSD for an opportunity to me to speak at such an august gathering. I would like to start my short speech. It's not a speech. It's a type of it's a kind of my opinion and my views on how to energize the rural area using the solar sector. But before I start this thing, my best wishes to all on the occasion of our 73rd Republic Day. As we all know that our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, he had pledged at the COP26 summit in the Glasgow in November 2021 to cut the India's total projected carbon emission by 1 billion ton, and that too by 2030, down the line, say some 7 to 8 years, and to reduce the carbon intensity of the nation's economy by less than 45% by the end of the decade, and to achieve a net zero carbon emission by 2070. These commitments also include meeting half of our country's energy need from the renewable energy by 2030 and increasing the non-fossil fuel power generation capacity to 500 gigawatt by the end of this decade. So these are very ambitious targets for all of us. As in total, since whenever we talk about a rural energy system, we talk about solar rooftop projects. So as of total, so far around 5.7 to 6 gigawatt of solar rooftop projects have been set up in India so far. And the government has identified 24 states and union territories where the cities have to be developed as solar cities. In fact, the plans such as the PLI schemes will also add the heft to the India green energy credentials that will help create the demand for a solar equipment manufacturing ecosystem for, say, solar ingots, solar wafers, cells, modules, and so on. Many of us, we usually take the availability of electricity for granted because in our cities, we don't have power cuts, specifically if I talk about Delhi. But rural area around our country, the access to electricity is sparse and very expensive sometimes. But in these areas, the use of solar power is a cheaper and a cleaner alternative. One significant benefit of the solar power in rural area is increased availability. Because if we plan to extend our electricity grid, that will cost a lot of money. For example, if we talk about the statistics, it would cost somewhere around 30 to 35 lakhs to extend an electricity grid for a kilometer. So relying on solar power will remove this cost burden from our electric companies and on the citizens. But unfortunately, despite of all the good things solar possess, solar cannot always provide enough energy to maintain electricity for a longer periods. Another determinant to the solar power in the rural area is the weather conditions, the very much virulent weather, which also limits the electricity which can be produced by the solar cell. So my point is that if we go for the hybridization of the renewable electricity sources, that would significantly contribute towards solving this issue by providing a stable and sustainable supply. And one of the major renewable energy source apart from solar is a biomass, which is very much widely available across the length and the width of our rural area. And biomass as a potential renewable source can be very well clubbed up with the solar thing. Considering the technology maturity and the economics, we must address the solar photovoltaic and the biomass hybrid system for power generation for a decentralized application. So before joining this webinar, I was just making some calculations. So if we plan to put up a typical 5 megawatt solar photovoltaic cum biomass hybrid system, whether we use biomass for gasification and then we can go for power generation. Alternatively, we can produce biogas and that biogas can also be used for power generation. So the capital cost for such a hybrid plant would come somewhere around 10 crores per megawatt. And at a levelized cost of electricity and with the capacity utilization factor of somewhere around 75%, we would be able to supply a constant electricity 24/7 at a cost of 5.4 rupees a kilowatt hour. This shows that this photovoltaic and a biomass system is a very viable system, and more importantly, this provides a stable power to the rural grid, rural microgrid during the daytime and during the night time without any battery support. But regardless of in my personal opinion, regardless of several disadvantages which is widely talked around the corners, the advantage of solar and the biomass power in the rural area will illustrate the development of this particular technology, which is very much beneficial for them and which is otherwise not being and which is beneficial for the people who otherwise would not be able to access the electricity. Another possible benefit of introducing solar power in the rural area is new economic opportunities. As per the recent media report which published 2 days ago in Hindustan Times Mint, India is exploring a sort of a hybrid model to leverage the rooftop solar energy for cooking purpose as a very ambitious plan to reduce the import cost of fossil fuel. This plan is expected to be the part of a clean cooking mission as per the report, and this will also comprise of in-house battery infrastructure kind of a thing for energy storage so that it can provide uninterrupted electricity to around 250 million households for clean cooking. Usually it is talked about that whenever we are going to develop any sort of renewable energy project in a village. So developing such a project usually gets a very bad reputation as it is associated with issues like land grabbing, deforestation, and the disruption of a rural ecosystem. While these downsides of the project development cannot be denied, but the positive impact of these projects are often overlooked. In my frank opinion, these kind of standalone energy projects can provide the rural economy a new source of revenue, employment, the business opportunities, product and policy innovation, capacity building, and most notably, affordable means of energy. As per the industry statistics, if we are going to put up a 5 megawatt renewable energy project in a standalone manner in a village, the project developer is going to spend around 10 to 15% of their capital expenses and around 70 to 80% of the operational cost towards the land lease, direct and indirect employment of the locals during the developmental as well as the operational stages of the project. So this project will not only develop the rural ecosystem, the rural economy, but it will also help drive the new skill development. And it will enable the locals, the natives of the villages to aim for a higher income. Because these projects, they create various temporary employment opportunities. So during the construction, during the operation of these projects, usually unskilled and semi-skilled men and women, they are hired from the villages and they can be trained to handle day-to-day operations. They can attend to the repair and maintenance, and they can assist with the customer care service as well. So all of these are the byproducts of renewable energy project development in rural area. We are not only providing energy, we are developing the whole ecosystem. We are uplifting the whole community. But the primary benefits remain the affordable electricity. So to end, I would like to make a sort of a small statement that these kind of solar come biomass projects, they are still providing much needed economic stimulus to the country, especially in the rural area. There are many projects in Bihar, in Uttar Pradesh, in the states of Chhattisgarh, where these kind of things are under place. I know one of the projects which is being developed by IIT Kanpur, which is funded by the USAID. They are developing one of the similar kind of solar plus biomass hybrid project. But still, we need the right policies and financial support for the microgrid industry to translate to real power, real income, and to create new jobs at the rural level, which is very much and very vigorously needed. I would like to stop here. Thank you for this opportunity and thanks for listening to me patiently. आपका माइक म्यूट है मैडम.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abhinav Trivedi ji. It's excellent information, and we learn a lot. As you mentioned, like solar cum biomass hybrid mode projects. Of course, when we talk about the rural energy, so technically everything is at the college level, at the university, at the research level. It's like possible and it's successful also, but need some kind of the action research or some project at the grassroots level or at the rural level, and then it will be success. Then the people, they are very happy and very spirit to adopt that technology. Because I remember in 2000, at the time of the earthquake, when I went to Kutch, none of the farmers, they use the mobile technology, mobile phones. But now we did one very small study, a survey. Even farmer have a 2 to 3 good instrument, like good technology of mobile. So they are using lots of things because they know here we got a benefit if we are using the technology. We just called it the market, or they are using now, online purchase and everything. So I think if technology is affordable, accessible, but how they know that? For that, exactly one, the farmers, they want to know if this is a benefited, then they accept. So I think you pointed out very exactly things, and I think that we can include in when we prepare a document, and we include, as we suggest also for the project, for the different university we have, and we have a partnership with the other organization also. So thank you so much, Abhinavji, and touch with you for the next.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much
for your help. Thank you so much. Now I request to Professor Mukherjee is a Senior Program Associate in Energy and Climate Change Department. So now I request to Professor Mukherjee for his address. So.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for inviting me. This is Orko Mukherjee from iForest. I am a Senior Program Associate at iForest, International Forum for Technology, Sustainability and Environment. We work on different parameters related to environment, decentralized renewable energy, capacity building and all. But today it's a privilege to be among you. And I'm really grateful that I am part of this webinar, and I am accompanied by so many guests. I'm thankful to Nisha ma'am to identify me as a potential speaker and giving me opportunity. I would also like to thank Abhinav Trivedi. I hope he has recommended my name to this forum. So, and I know there are a lot of very much senior and much experienced people in this forum who have a lot of expertise about solar energy, skill development, renewable energy and all. So I have done some kind of basic research to just give an overview that what is the full landscape we are talking about. I am not talking about a particular case scenario and something. I am giving a full landscape about what is energy security, how it is defined, and what is its meaning in the context of India today. And then I will share some photographs of the sites, which will give more questions to our mind that how we define energy security. So I may share my screen now. Yeah, hope it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was going through internet, finding out what does energy security means. So I have found approximately 104 different citations which talks about energy security, and energy security majorly goes through availability, diversity, cost, technology, location, environment, policy. So there are 14 different segments under which you can talk about the energy security. Here, I will try to refrain myself and talking about all of them. There is a definition by IEA which gives the energy security means uninterrupted availability of energy sources at affordable price. So I will be talking about affordability, availability, sustainability, and reliability only. If we talk about affordability right now, I'm talking only about energy security, not about energy through solar energy. So currently, the prices of electricity, the difference between energy and electricity, I think everybody knows, and I should not ever tell you. Electricity is very small part of our total energy consumption, and when we are doing of energy planning, then we should take consider of other sources also, wells also. But here, as we are comparing through solar energy or solar PV technology, so I am talking only about electricity right now. So if you see, there are a few states like Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal, Bihar, Tripura, which has the highest domestic power tariff. So if you buy the tariff from the DISCOM, it will be like in the range of 7.5 rupees to about 9.75 rupees. Whereas if you go to Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, Goa or Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, the electricity is very cheap there. So affordability is a factor while we are thinking that solar energy is promoting. Affordability is a factor. So recently, yesterday only, I congratulate all the people who are living in Gujarat that Gujarat has achieved 1 gigawatt of solar potential in the form of rooftop solar from rooftop solar. So Gujarat has the maximum installed rooftop solar across India. It is 1 gigawatt right now. And below it is Rajasthan, which is only 35 megawatt, which is like 3% of what the Gujarat has installed. And it is very surprising. A state has done so much progress and other states are lagging so much behind. So these numbers have been shared by MNRE yesterday only. So if you see the high cost states like Maharashtra, West Bengal, Bihar, those are lagging behind in this race, and Gujarat, which has cheaper electricity than these states, is above. So certainly electricity is not a constraint when we talk about the tariff at that state. Now, if we talk about affordability of solar energy, so you see this is different bids which happened from 2010 till October 2021. And you will see there is certain decrease in the cost of solar energy. Before it was, in 2010, it was 17 rupees, 18 rupees. But now it has dipped down to 1.99 rupees per kilowatt. But you see after this 2019 tender of juvenile tranche 500 megawatt of 1.99, it's, if my cursor is you can see my cursor, the cost increases a bit. The cost increases a bit because there were some problems in financial, getting finance, getting equipments from other companies. But recently we got another tariff of 2.14 and 2.44. So you may be surprised that in last 2.5 years, the price of per unit of solar has increased. But actually it is not. Before it was 1.99 rupees of only solar whenever it was generating, but now it is solar and wind hybrid. So you are getting more reliable power, or there in some cases it is RTC power, round the clock power. So you will get round the clock power at 2.14 rupees from solar power plant. So if you want to use power in your home at night from solar, you can get it at 2.14. But actually you are procuring power from DISCOM at rupees 7 rupees or 6.5 rupees, the same power which is produced at 2.14. So the cost goes up because of the losses by the DISCOM or giving a DISCOM. So that's a different case study altogether. So you see, this is a comparison of installation cost of solar in different states, which we had done in 2014. And we found out that solar was, in comparison to residential, commercial, or domestic sector. But now the price has gone down. It is just for residential sector, per unit cost comes around 3 rupees, 2.75 or 3.15 rupees. So the cost of power from solar energy is very less in compared to the grid. So it is the right time to go for solar PV for all the residents who are living in the states where electricity is high. But it is not that case. So what is the case then? Why? What determines the installation of solar PV? So is it the availability of the power? The next question. So these are few analyses which we had done last year in 2021. Here we mapped the availability of coal. So you see, most of the coal are produced from the eastern states like Jharkhand, some from West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Telangana. But if you see the thermal power plants which produce the powers are mostly situated in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh or Madhya Pradesh. So there is a quite divergent that coal from the eastern state goes to western states and get converted into electricity. But actually, does that electricity has been consumed in that state only? I'm just taking a case study for automobile sector. The power which is generated in Gujarat goes travel back to Haryana or goes travel back to Madhya Pradesh for getting utilized in the form of industry and all. So there are different sectors, different industries where the availability of the source of the fuel is not a factor. So fuel gets transported from one state to different state, then power comes from one state to different state. In this manner, a lot of losses in the form of transmission and distribution take place. But in the case of solar energy, it is not like that. You can generate solar energy at any place in India. All of the India is very much feasible for generating electricity. And right now, the cost of batteries and cost of energy storage has come really down. And you can generate solar energy nearby your area and reduce the cost of transmission and distribution. So it is now a business case scenario for many commercial as well as residential customers. But you see, if coal map is dependent or availability of the electricity is dependent on the installation of solar power, then I am very much surprised that it is not also the case. Then the factor is reliability. Is the reliability of the power is one of the factor which is pushing the solar installation in different states. So this is a current study which is done by CEW, IRI study. which talks about the power available in different households in India, urban and local household. And you will be very surprised to see, whereas the urban household in Gujarat are getting 24 hours of electricity, the rural household in Jharkhand is getting only 16 hours of electricity. So it means the average power cut are 8 hours in a village. But this is averaged. I visited few villages which had no power for more than 7 days or 8 days altogether. So in this way, the reliability of power in different states are very much different. And so this gives a question of research that why the power consumption to a state where the coal is available at the highest, there are a lot of thermal power plant, but still there is no electricity for the villages, whereas a state which has no coal mines, but it has thermal power plant and it has full electricity. Is it the buying capacity of the consumer is more, or why it is that? But if you compare the tariff of the Gujarat or different states, it's almost similar. Or if you compare it with Maharashtra or some other states, it's almost similar. Then why this disparity among the residents? Why the solar sector is getting high in the states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, but it is not coming up in the state of Uttar Pradesh or in Northeast states or in Bihar. But the thing is that all the factors like availability of the power generation condition, the pay capacity of the residents are almost same. And the solar installation is also same across the country. So this give me a lot of things to go and check what's happening in these villages, how these villages are surviving in their own. And there is a lot of stuff which goes in the villages because today everything is getting modernized. People need smartphones, people need processed food or grains, flours, oils in their everyday things. So I went to some villages in Jharkhand to see what's happening in Jharkhand and how people are doing. So I found surprisingly that they have installed rooftop solar panels and they have installed batteries with that, with the help of some government program or something, and they are using it for the productive use. But this is not under, not in the numbers of the government because this is not under rooftop scheme, it is under some other scheme. Similarly, when I went for seeing different other sites, I found that people have removed diesel generators from the pumps and they have installed solar powered pumps. You will see that connection of this diesel generator from the pump has been removed and it is connected with solar things. This Atta Chakki person is buying power from a solar mini grid and he is operating it on mini grid. And you know what price per unit of electricity is buying? He is buying electricity at the rate of 20 rupees per unit just because there is no availability of grid power. But still he is doing his operation. He is trying to earn his livelihood by using this Atta Chakki and all. The oil mill, this is a oil mill of a company and they run it on solar power completely. It is driven not by a generator but by a motor which is powered by solar PV. In this way, they are using solar power. So the question, this is a full-fledged industry. It's placed in Hazaribagh district and it has no electricity, this place. So, and the person is earning around 1 lakh rupees per month by doing the processing of grains, arhar dal, tur dal. They are processing. They are doing by using solar electricity only. So the question of solar energy security comes around. If we are talking about the requirement, do we need energy for our daily things? Then the question is around: is the energy available or not? And if we talk about the luxury that we don't care where we get the electricity from, we should have the electricity. Then the security comes in. But the question is really that how much we should pay so that we can incentivize these green technologies so that power can also be transferred to those people who are in need. So this was all from my side. Thank you. So I thought I gave a lot of...
Thank you so much, because we are just seeing like you touch all this affordability and reliability, and this is the excellent data. But I would like to know, you mentioned about this Atta Chakki person. You just mentioned they 20 rupees per unit.
Yes. From solar is going
energy
to storage, and then it is coming to them, so they are paying. Yeah.
Okay. And he is from which state?
Gumla district in Jharkhand.
Okay, because it's
that's not connected to the grid.
Yeah.
Very long. You have to travel like 10 hours on car, then 2 hours on bike, then half an hour on foot to reach there.
Yes, because we always talk about the, as a theory, what I am earlier also share, affordability, accessibility, and everything. But actually, when we think about the rural areas, and particularly like you say, the Jharkhand, like in the Gujarat, we have some arid areas also. So it's very much difficult for the rural people to how they can access and how it will be afford. So thank you so much. Your data and presentation is excellent, because when I saw all this presentation with the pictorial and all India's map, it's it put out all this information. So it's it's really appreciate your efforts you are doing, and thank you so much for your presentations. Very brief. If anyone have a question, because sorry, this is not a question answer session because it is a letter, but I'm surprised how it is possible. That's why just I'm asking this question in between. So thank you so much, Mukherjee, for your presentations. And now I request, thank you so much on behalf of Government of Gujarat and NCCSD for your time and for your excellent presentation. Thank you so much. Now I request to Praveen Saxena ji, CEO of the Skill Council of the Green Jobs, and thank you so much, sir. Now I request Dr. Praveen Saxena ji, CEO of the Skill Council for the Green Jobs and former DG of NISC and the advisor of the MNRE, Minister of New and Renewable Energy for the Government of India, for his presentation. Sir, now I request Dr. Praveen Saxena ji for his presentation. Sir. To Praveen Saxena ji, you are with us, right? Sir, you are able to access my voice. And Dr. Praveen Saxena ji? Okay, just I will check because we received his confirmation. Now I request to Dr. Manoj Kumar Upadhyay, Deputy Advisor Energy, Vertical Niti Aayog, Government of India. Now I request Dr. Manoj Kumar ji for his presentation. Sir. Dr. Manoj Kumar ji?
Can you hear me, madam?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you for inviting me in this discussion. Very good discussion till now I heard, and I thanks Dr. Kirit Salat sir and Dr. Rajendra Sende sir, who has given very wonderful speech before my start of the speech. So I wanted to just discuss some of the issues. So because Dr. Salat, he has basically given a question that why rural India, especially the agriculture, is not picking solar. And for us as a policy maker, we are also thinking that though we have a Kusum scheme, we have a lot of other incentive scheme. Every state government, they have the off-grid solar policy, successful policies. Why this rural agriculture area is not picking off-grid? Eventually, the Kusum skill also not getting very good response in that case. So there are 2-3 disconnects that after analysis that we found out. That one disconnect is the DISCOM disconnect. Till now, whatsoever solar energy at Avino before me already explained that we have variability of this solar power. So we can get only 4 to 5 hours. So in a day. So whatsoever requirement of the farmers or the families, it's not fulfilled because the availability of solar is started from 9:30 to 10 based on the radiation, and it's up to 3:30 or 4 o'clock. Before and after that, we have to use the grid power, and the backup, the storage system is not very economical right now. So grid have to connect all the villages, and then off-grid may be substituted grid for some time. So the grid, this distribution companies, the financial health. Their financial health is not very good. It's everybody is aware about it. They have 90,000 crore rupees losses, and especially the non-agriculture state discoms, they are good and safe, like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka. But the agriculture-based discom, they are not very good, and their financial losses are huge. Now, because we are talking about rural area to become prosumers, both producing and consuming. So distribution companies, because of the losses, they are not ready to buy the grid power, whatsoever power they're generating. A lot of cases are reported that a lot of projects are failed because they are not honored. Secondly, the off-grid solar, in every state, almost every state, the surplus power is not billed. It's not basically paid. It's only adjusted. So in the UP, I know that in the March, they only keep on going on. And in the March, they basically adjust whatever surplus payment you have or whatever surplus unit you have. DISCOM has the first issue, biggest issue, which is not supporting the rural solar programs. Second point is the agriculture-based economy, because we are talking about that off-grid solar, and we are talking about that the farm-based solar and all these things. So we have the marginal farmers, and to have and to integrate this marginal farmer, it's the biggest challenge for anyone. And the companies are not getting a very business proposal or economical business proposal, so they are not moving forward. Now for the off-grid, for the rural area where the consumptions are very low and the investment for these things are very high. So it's again an economical challenge for anyone, especially the farmers, because their economic condition is well aware. Third point is the integrated model. So till now, as my previous speaker Apurva Mukherjee was saying, that the atta chakki and all. So we see that till now there is nothing called a concrete integrated model in the village side. Like if you put microgrid, then this microgrid is going to supply your entrepreneurs, your small shops, and they are also supplying the families, and they are also supplying the institutions nearby. Some pilot project started by Smart for India in UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, and it was very successful. But because of the grid, once the grid was available, they have discounted somewhere. And because of the distribution companies, they are providing almost 1/3 or 1/4 cost of electricity to this rural area. So the encouragement of the rural buyer is not very well taken in that case. So these are some set of issues which is basically not favoring the economics of the rural areas, especially for the solar development. And no doubt the solar power, and if we combine solar with the hybrid, solar with the small hydro where it is feasible, and solar with the small winds, it's very, very successful. And in the economics terms, whenever you compare anywhere, it's a cheaper one anyway. Only thing is that if you combine with the battery storage, then it's coming out much more, 1 rupee and 1.5 rupees to the coal-based power, or you can say the hydro plus coal-based power. So the economics that is not getting favored is basically is a one policy hurdle for the rural off-grid or agriculture sector solarization. The second biggest challenge is that government is not basically state governments, those they have this policy programs and they have incentive like Gujarat has started a very good incentive program, Off-Grid Solar. So it is very successful. But other states, especially the North Indian state, though they have the huge agriculture load, but they have not started similar program. And because there is an absence of similar program called incentive program, so the individual motivations and the company motivation is not there. So there is a need to start a similar program as Gujarat has started, and maybe Delhi also started some 4 to 5 years back, but it's not successful because there's a good connected power available already here. Third point is, if we wanted to basically push this solar entrepreneurship in the rural area, we have to think two component. One is the finance cost. So right now, the finance cost whatsoever we have, what IREDA is basically, they have coming out 8%, and the commercial bank is coming out 8 to 12%, and the individual entrepreneur, they are not getting the finance at a very attractive rate. So anyhow, the interest rate and the getting a finance for individual entrepreneur, especially those who are going to establish their project in the rural area, is a challenge. And that Niti Aayog has taken these issues, and we are working on that one. Second point is that once anybody has established the project, then the revenue realization of the project and the sustainability of the project is a question, because the economic development of that area is not like they can sustain 8 to 10 rupees power, because any microgrid power is not less than 15 rupees. If you just go for heavy subsidization, that's come to the 8 rupees per unit. So paying 8 to 15 rupees in variations to 8 to 15 rupees for the rural area is one of the biggest challenge. And if we compare this tariff to the tariff, so they are getting for their grid connected power, and they have to pay 18 to 15 rupees for the microgrid connected power. So there is again a destruction from the microgrid based to the grid based power. So these are the small economics that is basically hindering develop. Third point is the solarization theory of the entire agriculture sector. So we have a pump set that the government of India started in the Kusum scheme, and Rajasthan is a leading in that case, and Gujarat is leading in this case. But other states, they are not taking this scheme very prominently. Other than solarization in the agriculture sector, there is no application that come out till date. So drying, especially the cold storage applications and the other applications. So there is almost a missing link in between the integrated model itself in the agriculture sector. So all these are the major issues. Now, how we can go for, if we wanted to go for the solar energy, especially the rural economy, especially for the agriculture, and we wanted to connect agriculture, as I was saying, that the entire rural area is able to feed the entire urban area into the entire country, and we can be surplus. So in Niti Aayog, we have basically devised the battery policy that is coming out, and the battery policy is going to help, because this is going to decrease the manufacturing cost, and once the battery is available, then definitely this is going to give some grid competitive power to anyone. Thirdly, right now we are coming with the green hydrogen concept, and green hydrogen concept, though it is a big concept and it requires giga scale type of production, but that is a basically integrated scheme, that is an integrated scheme, and which we can basically pull entire solar energy, whatever produced, if it is produced at farm level, it is produced as an off-grid level, and we can produce the green hydrogen. And green hydrogen can be produced both by solar energy electrolysis process and also the biomass gasification process. So if we apply both processes, and we have an integrated model for the green hydrogen production, that is going to utilize the both renewable energy and also the waste of the farmlands, and it is going to give extra income to the farmer. Now, for especially if we wanted to go for the agriculture sectors and especially go for the rural area where abundant radiation is there, and we wanted to utilize that, then we have come out with the microgrid type of model. And that microgrid type of model need to be especially incentivized by the state, because only putting the panels is not sufficient. Putting the land, putting the wires, and to maintaining it for 10 to 15 years is important. So state has to come out with the microgrid type of policy, and they have to provide some incentive, at least some incentive to the rural entrepreneurs, so that they can at least manage their own village, and they can basically decouple or couple with the grid as well if they wanted. So these are some insight, and we are thankful to NCDC that united two experts from the Niti Aayog, and whatsoever outcome of this incentive discussion, we will basically going to incorporate in our policy papers. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Manoj Kumar Upadhyay, sir, for your excellent presentation. And on behalf of NCCSD and the government of Gujarat, we're really thankful to you. As I mentioned earlier, Dr. Alpesh Desai, Director of Solar Energy, is not well, so he convey his message. Now I request to Patankar, in charge of VIT Lote, for his presentation. Patankar bhai.
Hello.
Yes. Dr. Praveen Saxena, CEO, is with us. So after Patankar's presentation, I request Dr. Praveen Saxena ji for his presentation. Because when I mentioned earlier, I think he is with us because he has some problem of connectivity, but now he is with us. So after Patankar ji presentation, I request Praveen Saxena ji for his presentation. Yes, Patankar ji.
Yeah. Nisha ma'am, thank you very much. Good afternoon to everybody.
Good afternoon, namaskar.
Yeah. So, so I'm sharing my presentation.
Sure.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Presentation is not, but you have to just click the presentation. Yeah. Then it's the slides is visible. We can able to see your computer screen. Now I think you click on the presentation, then it's loaded. Yeah, it's loaded.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thanks to Shelat Saab and Government of Gujarat giving me opportunity to present my work, which is done at a remote area. I mean, solar energy. We are just working for the Excel Industries CSR in the field of agriculture, then watershed development, and all other sectors. So, especially agriculture sector requires energy at a right time. So, we did work in the rural area. Some of the villages, around 5 villages, we did the solar energy work for street light, then for irrigation purpose. So it is very helpful to the farmers. Next slide. See, there are solar lamps. I have presented here the facts and figures. But
Patankar ji, your slide is not visible. So I think you have to share the slides. You have to first click on the share and then upload your presentation. Now we only see the PC's screen.
Just a minute.
Yeah, no problem, sir. Otherwise, you can. Yes, no, yeah, it's visible. Excellent. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So the first slide is showing the work done at the remote place in Konkan region. We are doing the CSR activity of Excel Industries, and especially this energy requirement for the farmers. It's very difficult task. So we try for the solar. So basically the Konkan area is a hilly area, so you cannot find the footpath or the right road in the night, not even in the day also. So farmer requires some light to find out his pathway to the farm and also to his home. So we have provided the street lights which is adjoining to his farm as well as his home. So they are very benefited, and they are working more time. They have more time to work in field also. Here farmers, they are cultivating different crops like pulses, oil seeds, cereals, fodder crop, like that. So now the other farmers, they are seeing that their productivity is increased by the provision of this solar light. Some of locations we have provided solar pumps, which is giving a very good output. So along with pump, we have given tools and tackles to the farmers, which promotes his income generation. Third point is solar fence guard. See, in the remote area, there are so many problems to the farmyard, like wild animals, then stray cattle. So he requires the fencing, the prominent fencing. But prominent fencing is a costly affair. So we provided the solar fence guard, so which is very cheap and portable. So they are advantage. And once these stray animals or the wild animals they shock, then they never come again to that field. So that is the big advantage. Like that, the solar energy is easily available, inexhaustible, and free. Solar power emits no pollution, so environment pollution is again a problem for another source of the energy. That way, solar is very good environmental point of view. Solar power uses no water, it produces no waste. So the solar using of solar energy is really a cost affairs. Then solar energy conserves the natural resource for the future generation. Panels are silent, easy to operate, and rarely required maintenance. Energy has been the power supply choice for many industrial applications also. Solar panels can help utilities avoid blackouts. So solar power has the potential to create hundreds of thousands of high-earning, high-tech green jobs. Solar power helps retain energy independence. Solar power offers a significant potential for near and long-term climate change mitigations. So this is our experience, and our organization, and especially Shelat sir has is guiding us for conducting such activity in the rural area, especially for the increase of farmers' income. Some of the photographs we have in the presentation, you can see next slide. Issues for solar energy. So there are too many issues. One is a cost. So many authorities, they have told about the cost. But apart from costs, there is no choice for the solar energy. The initial cost for the purchasing of solar system is very high. But this includes paying for solar panels, inverters, batteries, wirings, and the installations. Nevertheless, solar technologies are constantly developing. So it is safe to assume that prices will go down in future. Then weather dependent. The weather dependent geographically, Konkan region is a hilly region, so you cannot have a solar light throughout the day. So minimum 5 to 6 hours you can have it. Solar energy can still be collected during cloudy and rainy days. So we have experienced it. The efficiency of the solar system drops up to some extent. So it is dependent upon the sunlight also. Then solar energy storage is expensive. Again, the storage of energy is expensive point. The solar energy has to be used the right way, or it can be stored in large batteries. These batteries used in off the grid solar system can be charged during the day so that the energy is used at night. This is a good solution for using solar energy all day long, but it is also quite expensive. Most of the cases, it is smarter to just use solar energy during the day and take energy from the grid during the night. You can only do this if your system is connected to the grid. Luckily, your energy demands is usually higher during the day, so you can meet most of it with solar energy. Uses a lot of space, so solar panels requires a large space. Solar PV panels require a lot of space, and some roofs are not being enough to fit the number of solar panels that you would like to have. So alternative is to install some of the panels in your yard, but they need to have access to sunlight. If you don't have the space for all the panels that you wanted, you can opt for installing fewer to still satisfy some of your energy needs. In the hilly area, trapping direct sun rays throughout the day is difficult because of the geographical condition. Some of the photographs you can see here, we have provided high efficiency bulbs and batteries, so which is coping the requirement of the light throughout the night. These are the solar panels put on for the irrigation purpose, and these are the fence guard provided in the farm. We call it as a jhatka machine. So in all means, the solar energy is a cheaper energy and the green and clean energy. So in near future, we should move for the solar energy. This is all from me. Thank you again, Nisha Ben, Shelat sir. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू सो मच. आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद पाटनकर जी. आपने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से, आप जो एग्जैक्टली जो ग्राउंड लेवल पे इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हो वो आपने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से, मतलब जिस तरीके से आप काम कर रहे हो वो काफी इट्स वेरी अप्रिशिएटेड. वो बिल्ड मतलब अच्छी तरीके से, क्योंकि कम्युनिटी को ये बेनिफिट हो रहा है. तो आपने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से किस तरीके से सोलर अफोर्डेबल एक्सेसिबल है फॉर द रूरल पीपल आपने जो समझाया. मैं आपका एनसीसीएसडी एंड द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गुजरात की तरफ से तहे दिल से आपका शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ. थैंक यू सो मच पाटनगर जी फॉर योर प्रेजेंटेशन एंड फॉर योर एड्रेस. थैंक यू सो मच. Now I request Dr. V.M. Modi ji, Associate Professor and Head Department of the Renewable Energy, SDU University for his presentation. So,
Nisha ji, this is Dr. Saxena.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
sorry, I will
Sorry.
not be able to continue. I'm sorry.
I forgot. Yeah. Now I request Dr. Praveen Saxena ji, CEO of the Skill Council for the Green Jobs and former DGNI SC and the advisor to MNRE Government of Gujarat. Yes, sir. Namaste, sir.
Namaskar. Thank you so much. I'm first of all really sorry. At the right time, my internet got conked off. That was the reason. I unfortunately have to very quickly move to another meeting, but I'll cover whatever few points I want to have from the skill point of view.
Sure,
well, it is now all the speakers have been speaking about solar energy, and we have actually, as a country, reached a point where there is almost no debate that solar energy would be an integral part of energy transition. We are today at the government level, at the highest level, we are talking of energy transition. We are talking of being independent, energy independent when we become 100 years or maybe 2047. So the fact is that solar energy is there, and solar energy has proved its existence technically beyond the point. Today we have 40,000 megawatts of solar energy installed in the country. And if you talk of renewables, out of the less than 400,000 megawatts total, renewable energy is contributing 26 to 27%. Solar is now beyond doubt. It is no question of debating about it, whether this can meet or this cannot meet. We have seen solar energy growing since we were talking about watts in the country. Very, very small applications, rural applications and street light applications. But today we are now talking of huge, large size projects going into tens and hundreds of megawatts. So there are kilometers and kilometers of solar panels installed in the country. And about 25 to 30% of our power requirements are being met through these projects. So that's not a question. Question is, how do we take the advantage or the highest possible advantage of solar energy in our country, even to meet large requirements? In fact, today, if you see the thermal power station, NTPC and NHPCs are moving towards solar. So large size projects are absolutely possible. And now the question is, how do we push it to even the smallest possible place? The biggest advantage which normally people forget to mention about the solar energy is that it is instant. I mean, if you are installing a large project, a hydro project or a thermal project, it is years. We need 5 years, 4 years, 6 years to install those projects before the first unit of electricity is rolled out. Whereas in solar energy, you put the panels and maybe you can say that it is instantaneously available. If not instantaneously, you can say that at least within a week, a megawatt size project is installed, and the benefit of that electricity reaches to the villages. This becomes, or the user, I will put it. So in fact, I was very, very pleasantly happy to see that there is a concept of university being promoted or universities coming together. That's the point. That's the place where we have to push this. Skill requirements, solar energy is offering huge possibilities of jobs for our youth, for entrepreneurship, for youth. So as far as this sector is concerned, skilling is concerned, Skill India is concerned, honestly, the entire sector has been completely mapped as per what kind of a requirements of skilled manpower is there. Now the universities have to come forward for skilling, for new innovations. In fact, what is required at the moment is that technically solar is proved. Solar is proved beyond doubt. Now it's the applications which need to be developed, and I'm sure universities, academic institutions, and R&D institutions can play an extremely important role to push this. This is what is required. No debate, in fact, at this stage on whether solar or not solar. It has arrived. It has arrived, and we must understand that thing, that this is one of the options for energy transition. I'm sorry, I will have to quickly wind up and move to another meeting. Thank you so much, Nisha. You are on mute. Nisha, you are on mute.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your address and your guidance. I think skill is very much important, and including the universities, colleges, and different. But entrepreneurship is now maybe if involve youth as an entrepreneur, then it become a more successful at the rural areas also. And of course, we are keeping touch with you for this skill development whole concept, sir, because we understand and work more regarding this skill, especially in the solar, how we can build a skill of the rural youth. So we have to include this whole as a policy also, because if we include that as a policy, then of course we talk about the skill, but how we can reskill and upskill. So I think it is very much important. Skill we have, but how we can reskill and upskill. It is very much important that we understood since last 22 years experience. So thank you so much for your contribution, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for your time. Now I request to Dr. Modi for his presentation. Dr. Modi, he is from the Sardar Kushinagar Datiwada University. Now I request Dr. Modi. Yes, sir. Dr. V.M. Modi, you are with? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I am ready. Are you getting my slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, ma'am, today's subject is on a research experience on off-grid solar water pump, and it is a success story of farmers of Banaskantha district of Gujarat state. It is my pleasure to deliver this success story under this program Atmanirbhar Bharat, Energy Security, Solar Energy for National Council for Climate Change, Sustainable Development and Public Leadership. Myself, Dr. V.M. Modi, in the College of Renewable Energy and Environmental Engineering. As Dr. Saxena sir said, renewable energy, and in that the solar photovoltaic technology, there is no question of its success. It is most proven technology. The thing we need is to develop skill and skilled human resources, and that we are doing in this College of Renewable Energy and Environmental Engineering. During the year of 2015 and 16, we conducted one success story. We conducted a survey on solar water pump, off-grid solar water pump installed in the district of Banaskantha district by the Gujarat Urja Vikas Nigam Limited, and share the experience, study, and became is and how utilizing the solar energy for pumping of water. As we know, this it is a system, it grid system, because during our survey it was found that the farmers who adopted the technology earlier, their farms were unelectrified. There was no grid at all. All the farmers were relied on diesel pump, and they were in the queue to avail electrical connection for lifting of water. So, considering the big queue, government decided to provide them off-grid solar pump of 5 HP capacity to all farmers who were ready to adopt the technology. And under that program, the farmers were given, and about 1,000 farmers were given the off-grid solar water pumping system to lift water. So if I go in the background, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Sources, Government of India, formulated an ambitious program for installation of 50,000 solar photovoltaic pump for 5 years. As we know, in Gujarat, in most of the areas, we receive very good amount of solar radiation in the range of 4 to 7 kilowatt hour per meter square per day, and it is for more than 300 days in a year. And as per recent notification issued by State Energy, that solar pumps are necessary because the agriculture sector itself consume about not be wrong if I inform that it consume more than 20% of power, electrical power in the state. So government itself decided to provide solar off-grid pump to the farmers, those who were in the big queue, and farmers happily adopted the technologies. At that time, in the year of 2015, the farmers were given this off-grid solar pump of 5 HP capacity at the mere rupees 5,000 for each farmer, and farmers are now operating this system so happily. And these are the main components and operation of the solar water pumping system. So it is so simple system. Main component is solar panel, and if it is a 5 HP system, government provides them 5 kilowatt system, 5,000 watt system as a solar panel, and with the panel, the government provided to convert that DC power into AC power, and control system and cabling. So this is a so simple system, and one day installation is possible with the help of such a system. So see, this is the actual photograph. ये जो आप देख रहे हो यहाँ, ये जो फार्मर्स के यहाँ जो सिस्टम लगी थी 5 हॉर्स पावर की, इसका ये जो फोटोग्राफ्स है जो हमने उस टाइम जब सर्वे किया था तब हमने लिया था. So these are the key photographs. See here, these are the 5,000 watts panel, and with panels, this is a control system inverter for converting DC power into AC power, and farmers lift water and they lift, and after lifting they use the micro irrigation system. Here I would like to say that the solar off-grid system is quite efficient if farmers use the micro irrigation system, either drip irrigation system or sprinkler irrigation system for irrigation purpose. So what was in the survey? So the project was undertaken on survey and techno-economic investigation of solar water pumping system adopted by the farmers of Banaskantha district, and the study was conducted on 20 farmers of different villages. A few farmers were of Palpur Taluka, a few were from Datiwada Taluka, and most of the farmers were from the Taluka of Tharad and Wow. Then what we covered in the survey was first we identified 5 farmers and their present status. See here, this is, for example, this is a name of farmer. We surveyed their land holding and types of pump, a total head required for lifting of water, a diameter of pipe, company from where they procured the system, and their response. So farmers' response were quite positive. They responded that after getting this system, they become able to irrigate. There was no maintenance and operation cost. Earlier, when they were using diesel pump, there was operational cost, very huge operational cost, because a diesel pump needs 2 to 3 liter of diesel in an hour. And this was a silent technology. The solar water pumps work so silently, it does not require any fuel. It runs on clear sunshine. So there was no maintenance, no operational cost. Farmers were so happy, and discharge was even good. And discharge varies. The main limitation, I would say, that in solar pump, in the morning to afternoon, the discharge is gradually rise, and from afternoon to evening, discharge is getting reduced gradually. So this is one limitation. But as I told, when farmers use the technology, the solar off-grid system with the micro irrigation system, then there is no problem in irrigation. Even farmers can irrigate all of their land available with the help of a micro irrigation system, because micro irrigation system it is a pressure irrigation system, and under pressure, even with varying discharge, farmers can irrigate so uniformly their crop. So these are the information. Then we have identified the farmers for the survey under the program. This was the plan of work. In 14-15, we collected database information. Then in 15-16, performance-based evolution study was carried out, and also comparative techno-economic study was also carried out. And in 16-17, payback period, feasibility of the technology, and all other the left study was carried out, and the program was concluded in the year of 16-17. Then information data, the important information we collected from the farmers were about geographical information, that is latitude, longitude, then system and layout, hydraulic criteria, solar array size and capacity, types of controller, pump type, solar water, source of water, total dynamic head, flow rate, pipeline routes and points of use.
Dr. Modi?
Yes.
Dr. Modi, sir, I would like to know, after 2016-17, you have any data?
No, ma'am. The program was conducted in up to 16-17.
Conducted in that area of the because it's the Renewable Energy College of the Environmental Engineering of the SB University. So you have any latest data of any project? Otherwise, before last 4 years project you are discussing, and that's why I am asking. If you have any new fresh case study, then you can present it.
No, I have not fresh case study, ma'am. But okay. This is a success story, and at that time, right now, the farmers were adopting the grid-tied solar water pumping system. But at that time, the technology was promoted by the government of Gujarat, and yes, farmers were quite interested in these technologies. That's why I would like to narrate. If it is of no use, then I would come. I can.
No. It is useful, but I would like to know, sir, the recent scenario. 16-17 data, all this you just explained very well. But what about the present status, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Recent scenario is very good, and it is promising. Right now,
yes, sir.
Right now, rather than off-grid system, farmers are adopting the on-grid system. Because on-grid systems have so many advantages. Off-grid system does not work during night, but on-grid system works even during night time, because government provides electricity round the clock, and if it is a on-grid system, then farmers have autonomy and consistent discharge, irrespective of their panel capacity and solar capacity. And government is also promoting the on-grid system, where already there is a connection, electrical grid is there. So this is a present condition in our state of Gujarat.
In state of Gujarat or in this area only?
Because nowadays most of the farms have already been electrified. Now cables are there, grid is there, and now farmers are opting for on-grid system rather than off-grid system.
Yes, sir. Understand. So that's why I am asking these questions, because we talk about the 16-17, but best of this we talk about the last year or the 1 or 2 year before the data, and the farmers, they are now using or not, or you just already mentioned, because earlier they are using the diesel, now they are using the solar pump. So if comparison is there, what is the saving of the money? Okay. If you have any idea, if the solar pump is not workable, like अगर कुछ दिक्कतें आई, ये प्रोजेक्ट के दरमियान कोई दिक्कतें आई 3 साल में, तो ये इसका रिपेयर मेंटेनेंस का कैसे उनका मैनेजमेंट था फार्मर्स का?
Yes, government by the government and with the company, that if companies have their service station to nearby areas, then only the companies were approved for this project, and all the companies have their service station near to the farmers' location. And so ma'am, this is a off-grid system, and mostly the operational and maintenance cost is almost negligible. Once the system works satisfactorily, then there is a least problem coming in the system, and farmers still today. I often visit and telephonic talk with the farmers. They are so happy, and right now they are operating the system so satisfactorily. So maintenance and operation is so least with the solar system. And small maintenance comes with the inverter and the control system. So nowadays local artisans are also ready to repair the technology.
Yes, understand. And what is the cost of the one pump?
Cost for at that time when government provided the system, the cost was 2.5 lakh, and the farmers were given the system at the cost of 5,000 only.
Okay, 2,000.
2.5 lakh.
Cost, but what is the cost of that same pump now, sir?
Nowadays, the same system comes at the cost of 1.5 lakh.
Okay, 1.5 lakh. Okay, good. So because your study we gone through and it's very impressive, and that's why we say you make your presentations. But what we are thinking is if it is upgraded, then I think it is very useful to other people also, because the 1.5 lakhs rupees invest by the farmers, and then he faced some difficulties. Then what about the repair and maintenance, and what is the benefit? You have any data and any comparisons, sir? This 3-year project, the farmers is using, if they are using the diesel, then what is the cost? And
yes,
they are using
solar. I'm coming to that. Yes, see. This is completely cash flow analysis for solar PV water pumping system. So finally, it was concluded that the payback period was 5.95 years, means about 6 years. For farmers 1, for farm 2, it was just 4.83 years. So payback period was in the range of 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
And it varies farmers to farmers.
Excellent.
Because for a year, the total annual expenditure for the system, diesel pump, if they use diesel pump, then it was 1,34,000. But when they use the off-grid solar system, the cost was almost negligible. So this was complete saving for the farmers. And farmers were given the system at the cost of just 5,000 rupees for farmer. तो farmers के लिए तो payback cost एकदम बिल्कुल 1 महीने में निकल जाती थी.
Exactly.
Because the system was highly subsidized.
And sir, the other thing is, yes sir, if you would like to add something, what is at present they are saving this much of money or this much of income they earn?
अभी कितनी इनकम वो कमा रहे हो आप बता रहे, आप पूछना चाहती है?
what why I am asking this question, sir, because you as a professor and you as a scientist, you teach us and you guide us कि if the farmers are using, अगर farmer solar pump use कर रहे हैं, मैं तो farmer की बात नहीं कर रही हूँ, मैं तो जो soil है, जो desert में water pump out करते हैं for the soil, I am talking about the inland soil, not marine, right? तो वो जो pump out करते हैं पानी, तो उसको भी वो लोग solar pump use करते हैं. तो ये जो सोलर पंप वो लोग यूज करते हैं, तो वो डीजल यूज करेंगे. तो डीजल एंड व्हेन दे आर यूजिंग द सोलर, तो कंपैरिजन क्या है, कितना सेविंग हो रहा है, वन. दूसरा, ये अफोर्डेबल है, 1.5 लाख रुपए फार्मर्स स्पेंड करना चाहते हैं, सेकेंड. एंड थर्ड, अगर कुछ दिक्कत आती है तो क्या है, दैट्स कम आउट इन बिगिनिंग ऑल्सो आई मेंशन द सेम थिंग कि अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं सोलर एनर्जी की, तो देन एक्सेस कैसे एक्सेस कर पा रहे हैं, अफोर्डेबल, एक्सेसिबल, तो ही ये हमारे जो भी सोलर एनर्जी की, जैसे शैलज सर ने बात की, अर्बन इज नॉट अ इश्यू इज द रूरल. गांव में कैसे ये जा सकता है और कैसे हमको उसको ले जाना है. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम मतलब रिक्वेस्टिंग एंड अर्ज यू कि सर, अगर अभी का कोई डेटा है ना, तो इट्स अ वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट स्टडी फॉर अस कि देखो भाई, ये 16-17 में भी यही डेटा है, 2020-21 में भी ये है, 22 में भी यही है. That's why I would like to know.
You are right, ma'am. You are right, ma'am. But in this university, we conducted study at that time.
Yes.
For that, for your requirement, we need to study for the latest trend. And for your information, right now, Government of India is running one scheme that is called KUSUM. Kisan Urja Suraksha and Utthan Maha Abhiyan.
Okay.
And under that KUSUM scheme, there are 3 components. And under one component, government is providing off-grid system, off-grid solar pumping system to the farmers through Gujarat Urja Vikas Nigam Limited. Gujarat Urja Vikas Limited is one of the nodal agency for MNRE, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy.
I know, sir. I know MNRE. So that's why, sir, we are very much willing to do study and actually action research with your, college. If your college is ready and you are ready, then we can work jointly, because we have a VRTI Kutch associated with this university, NCCSD and your college. If
most welcome. From college, if we want to undertake study jointly with your institute, we will do that.
Sure. Because we have to see what is the actual conditions. We have a actual data कि अगर हम सोलर पंप यूज करते हैं, वन, अगर हम सोलर पंप यूज नहीं करते हैं, सोलर लाइट्स भी है. You have in your area you have a चारण का solar power project, right, sir? So have that information. So if we have that action research कि अभी जो चल रहा है वो हम कहाँ पे है और इसको अपस्केल कर सकते हैं. जैसे मैं अभी बात करें तो रीस्किल
कर सकते हैं, अपस्केल हम कर सकते हैं, लेकिन लेटेस्ट स्टडी हमको कर.
एग्जैक्टली. हाँ.
बोला कुसुम योजना के तहत भी अभी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गुजरात सब्सिडी दे रही है, जहाँ लाइट अभी तक पहुंची नहीं है. अभी भी कुछ एरिया है कि जहाँ ये जो केबल है वो अभी नहीं पहुंचे, ग्रिड इज नॉट देयर. फॉर सच एरिया एंड फार्मर, दिस ऑफ-ग्रिड सिस्टम इज क्वाइट बेनिफिशियल एंड एक्चुअली इट्स अ boon to those farmers who are running diesel pump. If we compare the system with diesel operated irrigation system, then it is quite beneficial to the farmers. क्योंकि यहाँ ये जो स्लाइड में आप देख रहे हो कि पीवी है, उसकी लाइफ साइकिल कॉस्ट है, it is just 5,55,000, and as compared to PV, life cycle cost of diesel is quite high. डीजल में रिपेयरिंग मेंटेनेंस भी बहुत ज्यादा आते हैं. डीजल हर रोज फार्मर्स को चाहिए, बिना डीजल काम ये सिस्टम करेगी नहीं. लेकिन पीवी की केस में अगर देखें तो पीवी नीड जस्ट क्लियर सनशाइन. Limitation is that PV will run, if it is a off-grid system, it will run only during daytime, and during monsoon and cloudy season it will not work. But during monsoon generally farmers does not require irrigation. So these are the key difference between a diesel operated irrigation system and photovoltaic irrigation system. So photovoltaic system, it is portable. Farmers, if wants, they can shift the system so easily. डीजल सिस्टम भी आपको शिफ्ट तो कर सकते हो, लेकिन पीवी सिस्टम भी आराम से पैनल निकाल के और इन्वर्टर को एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पे ले जा सकते हैं. नाउडेज पोर्टेबल फोटोवोल्टाइक ऑब्जेक्ट सिस्टम्स आर आल्सो अवेलेबल. ट्रैक्टर बेस्ड, इस ट्रैक्टर के ट्रॉली में ये लोग इंस्टॉल कर देते हैं और एक फार्म से दूसरे फार्म तक भी इसको ले जाके आप इरिगेशन करवा सकते हैं. तो वन सिस्टम विल वर्क फॉर सो मेनी फार्मर्स. और फार्मर्स के अलावा भी जहाँ भी कॉमर्शियल यूज या डोमेस्टिक यूज या कोई भी फंक्शन के लिए भी ये सिस्टम का यूज किया जा सकता है. सो मेनी रिसर्चेस आर अंडर वे फॉर दिस ऑब्जेक्ट पोर्टेबल सिस्टम. पोर्टेबल सिस्टम और ऑन ग्रिड सिस्टम है, उसका बेनिफिट अलग अलग है. कुछ मामलों में पोर्टेबल सिस्टम भी ऑन ग्रिड होते हुए भी मैं मानता हूँ कि पोर्टेबल सिस्टम चलेगी. जहाँ पोर्टेबिलिटी की इम्पोर्टेंस ज्यादा हो वहाँ पोर्टेबल सिस्टम ज्यादा अच्छी है एज कम्पेयर टू ऑन ग्रिड सिस्टम. ये सब डिफरेंस है. लेकिन ज्वाइंट स्टडी अगर आप लोग करना चाहते हैं हमारे साथ तो वी वेलकम योर ऑफर एंड वी विल डू दैट.
Yes, because your college is renewable energy and environmental engineering. It's helpful to the really rural people and like organizations who are working in this sector.
And
so,
these are the common feedbacks available from the farmers at that time, that no maintenance and unattended operation. Farmers को कहीं वहाँ जाने की भी जरूरत नहीं है और अटेंडेड क्योंकि मोबाइल ऑपरेटेड सिस्टम थी तो अपने घर पे बैठे बैठे भी वो चालू कर सकते थे.
लेकिन फीडबैक इस टुडे सर, आज भी यही फीडबैक है.
हाँ, आज भी सिस्टम चलती है क्योंकि उसके बाद 17 के बाद आपको बता दूं कि 2020 में हमने दूरदर्शन अहमदाबाद की टीम को लेके वहाँ फिर से एक बार विजिट किया था और दूरदर्शन की टीम ने वहाँ कवरेज भी किया. अगर आप चाहती है तो जो कवर किया था दूरदर्शन की स्टोरी वो उसकी लिंक में आपको दे सकता हूँ जो 2020 में किया था.
वो लिंक आप ये प्रेजेंटेशन में ऐड कर दीजिए so you are able to share the same link. So this is the like your presentation get a weightage कि ये 5 साल से चल रहा है.
हाँ, वो हम कर सकते हैं कि ये सिस्टम अभी भी चल सकती है, अभी भी चल रही है. एक्चुअली लाइफ ऑफ द पीवी सिस्टम इज फॉर 25 years. पीवी सोलर पैनल लास्ट लॉन्ग एज 25 साल तक पैनल को कुछ नहीं होता है. मेरी अपनी कॉलेज की बात करूं तो मेरी कॉलेज में 2014 से सिस्टम लगी है 60 किलोवाट की, वो आज भी काम कर रही है. और हालांकि वो ऑन ग्रिड सिस्टम है, ऑफ ग्रिड सिस्टम नहीं है, लेकिन ऑफ ग्रिड और ऑन ग्रिड में कोई ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है. ऑन ग्रिड सिस्टम ग्रिड के साथ टाइड होती है, ऑफ ग्रिड सिस्टम होती है तो उसके साथ इन्वर्टर और कभी कभी इन्वर्टर ना हो तो डीसी कंट्रोलर भी उसमें होता है. तो वी कैन हैव 2 ऑप्शन. One is an inverter to convert the DC power into AC power, and farmers opt for AC pump under that condition. Second option is a DC controller, where farmer opt for DC pump. तो DC pump में और AC pump में फायदा नुकसान क्या है वो आपको बता दूं तो DC pump runs better as compared to AC pump because here we eliminate the conversion losses. तो DC में से AC में करने के लिए जो losses होते हैं तो लॉसेस एलिमिनेट हो जाते हैं जब हम डीसी पंप का यूज करते हैं. लेकिन डीसी पंप की कॉस्ट थोड़ी ज्यादा होती है. राइट नाउ देयर इज नो मच अवेयरनेस एंड मार्केट अवेलेबिलिटी फॉर द डीसी पंप. डीसी पंप इतने ज्यादा हमारे देश में अभी भी नहीं बनते जितने एसी पंप बनते हैं. तो डीसी पंप की कॉस्ट इनिशियल कॉस्ट ज्यादा होती है लेकिन उसकी एफिशिएंसी आपको ज्यादा मिलेगी. और एसी पंप में क्या फायदा है कि एसी पंप कोई भी नियर बाय सर्विस स्टेशन पे आप रिपेयर करवा सकते हो इमीडिएटली. तो ये सब फायदा नुकसान डीसी पंप और एसी पंप में है.
Thank you so much, sir, for your excellent presentation, and we're really thankful to you on behalf of NCC SSD and the government of Gujarat, and we'll keep in touch with you for this further how we can work out together for this energy sector. Thank you so much, sir, for a presentation. Now I request to Vikas Vaje, SCU SFT, for his presentation. Vikas bhai. I request SFT for the presentation. I request Vikas bhai for his address. Vikas bhai, you are with us. I think you're on it. Now I request to Dr. D.K. Vyas for college from the Renewable Energy Department of Agriculture Engineering, Godhra, for his presentation and address. So.
Can you see my presentation, ma'am? Madam, can you hear me?
Yes, we can see your presentation.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon to all. Today I am going to deliver in Atmanirbhar Bharat solar energy security in solar energy sections. Today I have delivered the role of solar energy in agriculture. We know that any country can develop requires more and more energy, and they use more and more fossil fuels, and it has adverse effect on the greenhouse gas emissions on climate due to the burning of fossil fuels. So in this context, we require the harnessing the more and more renewable energy sources as far as the solar energy, renewable biomass energy, and other renewable energy sources that can be utilized for the energy. We can say that to fulfill the demand of the industry as well as the domestic. So during last few years, a great strides has been made to install a solar PV plants, wind turbines, hydropower, biogas, and renewable installed cumulative capacity has been increased from 14.4 gigawatt at the beginning of 2009 to 71.5 gigawatt by the end of the July 2018. In India, we know that the wind energy continues to dominate the Indian's renewable energy security and utilizing in industry for over the 48.1% of installed capacity, around 34.4 gigawatt from the wind, followed by the solar power by 23.2 gigawatts and biomass power from 9.4 gigawatts. As far as the small hydro is concerned, 4.5 gigawatts. Rajasthan and Gujarat share a 21% of solar power installed capacity in the country, and two states share 43%. These two states means Rajasthan and Gujarat shares the 43% of total wind turbine installed capacity by the Tamil Nadu and the Maharashtra. So we know that the India is the agriculture based country. So in agriculture sectors, energy is directly used for pumping irrigation operations, different mechanized farm implements and tools, processing of foods. So share of agriculture sector in total energy consumption is about 7 to 8%. For further increase in energy used from its present value of 1.6 to 2.5 kilowatt per hectare is expected to meet the production target of next 20 years. So this is the sector-wise power total installed capacity as on date 31 August 2020-21. So major share is the private sectors. They install the energy. And this is the installed generation capacity fuel-wise. So here we can say that the fossil fuels requires produce more energy, and they create environmental pollution as well as the greenhouse gas emissions, around 60.51 total share in total out of 100. Fossil fuel is concerned 37.9 and nuclear is 1.75. So this table shows the program or scheme wise physical progress in 2020-21 and cumulative up to September 2021. So this is the different sectors, means wind power, solar power, ground mounted. solar powers rooftop, so SPV systems upgrade, small hydropower.
Sir, your voice is not.
Yes, madam.
Yes, sir. Yes.
32.85 megawatt power that can be generated up to the September 2021. So this is the national solar mission targets. Grid connected solar power generations in 2017 to 22 around 1 lakh megawatts. Of grid solar applications including solar PV pumps around 2000 megawatts, solar thermal collectors 20 million square meters, and solar lighting systems around 20 million. So this is the solar missions of the Indian countries. And why we go for solar energy? We know that every day we get a 4 to 7 kilowatts per meter square per day. We get a solar radiation. So we can say that the 5,000 trillion kilowatt hour per year means 1,500 sun hours per year we get a solar radiation. So this can be used in a proper manner. So total energy consumption of the country we can achieve. So we know that the already earlier speaker says there two types of the solar systems that can be utilized: solar thermal and solar photovoltaic. Now, as far as this agriculture is concerned, solar technology that can be utilized for solar water heating systems, solar dryers for agriculture produces to be dried, solar pumping system already discussed by Professor VM Modi from SDAU, solar on-grid and off-grid systems, solar agrivoltaic systems, solar power used in farm power for agriculture operations, solar fencing, and solar insect trapping systems. So this type of gadgets that can be utilized in agriculture sectors. So we cannot hear more discuss about the solar PV systems, water lifting or pumping systems, already discussed by Professor VM Modi. So this is some snaps of these solar pumping systems, and in the some speech by Selat sir, they said that the Dhundi Saur Urja Utpadak Sahkari Mandali in Gujarat is the world first cooperative mandali for the utilization of solar PV systems for irrigation agriculture purpose. So this cooperative society is registered in early February 2026, and 6 farmers. Only 6 farmers that can join in this mandali and adopting the solar irrigation pumping, which had the unique capability of the poor to pull and inject their surplus solar power to the electricity grid, and they earn the money from the production of the solar powers and getting a 4.63 for every unit sold to the electricity grid. So today the solar pumps have generated close to 1 lakh kilowatt of green energy, of which 8,097 were used for irrigation, and remaining units that can be sold to the electricity board, and they get money. So farmers can get more money. As far as our Prime Minister's goal is double the farmer incomes. So we can use their electricity in their own field, and surplus of power that can be supplied to the grids, and they can earn the money. So this is some snaps of the Dhundi village they are making 6 farmers groups, and they sold the power to this electricity board, and they can use their own field. So here we can see in statement of accounts in 2017-18, the gross profit of this Sahkari Mandali is 1,25,000 25,000, around 25,000 out of, they can use their energy in their own field. After they are selling to the electricity board, and they get a 1.25 lakhs rupees per year. So they earn the money from the solar power. So this is some snaps. And in our college, means College of Agriculture Engineering and Technology, Anand Agriculture University, located at Godhra, we can install 3 kilowatt, 3 HP solar submersible pump systems to lift the water from the sumps to the hostel. So actual utilization of this solar pumping system into the real users means we can demonstrate these systems to the farmers to encourage more to use this more and use these systems more and more, as well as to be aware how it works, the systems for the irrigation purpose. Also, the students can the systems runs by the students in the hostels. So here agrivoltaic, this is the concept. So with agriculture means cultivation of crops plus power generation into the farmers' fields. So agrivoltaic land utilization system or solar farming is proposed to either as a certain portion of land for erection of PV modules in a farmer fields, or introducing crop cultivation in the same piece of land where the PV panels are erected for electricity generation purpose. So by adopting such systems, the risk of loss due to the crop failure during the aberrant weather events may be marginalized in the farm scale and may prove to be an effective drought proofing strategy. So these inter-panel areas and below panel areas can be effectively utilized for growing such crops that can be tolerate certain amount of shade for different duration of the day. So this is the systems, how it works. We see that the crops below the panels and the panels above the height around 6 feet to 12 feet and to move the tractors into the fields in between two row of the panels. So this is some snaps for agrivoltaic systems. And Anand Agriculture University was installed a 1 megawatt agrivoltaic power generation plant at village Amrol, Taluka Aklav and district Anand in collaboration with Gujarat Industrial Power Corporation Limited. So they installed the PV and research. They grow different crops like a turmeric and gingers and other crops and vegetables. They grow in between these two rows, and successful results they give it. So, and third use of the solar-based processing of agriculture produces. We know that the agriculture is a very good produce, like very good produce, and after drying we get a more money. So processing of agriculture produce like drying, cleaning, grading, winnowing are the important for value additions. So this there are already well established solar thermal devices based devices available commercially, and many specific technology have been installed in farmers field as well as the industry for different by different institute for farmers and villagers as well as the entrepreneurs. So we know that the what is the disadvantage of sun drying systems and mechanical drying system. Mechanical drying systems requires electricity, and we use this electricity produced by the fossil fuels. So more and more power we can use for the drying of agriculture produces. So this is the traditional way. Sun drying systems, turmeric is drying in sun. So we know that disadvantages of the uneven drying and the rodents and the insects that can be damaged by the crop residues. So solar-based drying system, natural convection, solar tunnel dryer, solar air heating drying systems. There are various solar-based drying systems is available in the markets, and that can be utilized for the drying and dehydration of agriculture produces. So these are some snaps, tunnel dryers that can be utilized for drying of gingers, turmeric, coconut, then chilies, and we can say that the amla candy, and some leafy materials like a methi and palak that can be dried into the solar dryers. So this is the small tunnel dryer for the small and marginal farmers that can be dried their products produced into the their field, and they can use these dry products whenever the material is not available in the market. They can use it. So there are basically three types of drying systems: direct, indirect, and mixed modes. So this is the direct. So solar radiation falls onto the surface of the dryers, and material that can be dried is called as direct mode solar drying systems. For small and marginal farmers that can be utilized these types of systems for drying of agriculture produces. And indirect mode solar drying systems, we can use this solar radiation captured and the air that can be passed into the system drying systems, and that can be heated, and we can this heated air that can be utilized into the solar dryers, and we can dry the materials. And mixed modes, both the systems, direct and indirect systems that can be utilized for the drying of agriculture produces. So this is the mixed modes type of dryers. Dairy operation, we know that the large amount of hot waters that can be required for cleaning of their vessels. So heating water can account for up to 40% of energy used for the dairy farms. So solar water heating systems that can be utilized for the dairy industries. And by appropriately positioning the solar panels on greenhouse roof, it is possible to obtain multiple advantages. For example, using the solar produced to make agriculture productions independent of the traditional energy source. We can use this solar power into the greenhouse, and we can save the fossil fuel or electricity whenever we require the operation of the greenhouse. So reducing the environmental impact and production cost, not subtracting from the land use useful for crops, and using the panel as a passive cooling systems thanks to shading effect and alternative to special shading systems such as nets and reflective. So this type of systems nowadays available in the market and more used by the farmers as well as the entrepreneurs. Now we know that we have plenty of the solar radiation, but wind is also available with us. So we can say we can use both the systems, solar, wind, hybrid systems. This is the solar, wind, hybrid systems, and in the College of Agriculture Engineering, the college you install the 5 kilowatt wind solar power systems for the power that can be utilized during night time, and the department, renewable energy department, is independent of the solar power. So we already discussed by earlier speaker Surya Shakti Kisan Vikas Yojana. Here we cannot discuss here.
ऐसा साहब ने बोला, it seems आप लोगों से क्या किस तरह का क्या है, आप वही वाला
solar fencing can be utilized to protect the crops from the forest and solar electric fans. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, madam. And solar power tractors. Nowadays, the various companies manufacture with solar power based tractors and already available in the market in various capacities. The solar milking machines that can be utilized to extract the milk from the animals, and we can use this type of solar gadgets for the milking purpose. And sprayers, solar power based sprayers, and after the utilization of this power spraying systems, we can charge the mobile as well as to operate the radio and lighting systems. So this is the actual utilization of solar power based sprayers into the fields, cotton as well as the onion crops. So all the crops, solar power operated sprayers that can be utilized in all the crops. And this is the solar power based remote control based solar power spraying systems, and that can be utilized in the chili crops. And in the right sides, we can say the solar insect trapping systems. During night time, this type of systems attract the insects, and we can use these systems during night time, and we can say that to protect the insects from the crop. So lastly, we say that the solar energy that can be utilized in agriculture sectors for more and more utilization, as well as to aware the farmers how it utilized into the fields.
Thank you so much, sir, for your.
Thank you very much from the NCC SD to give an opportunity to present my view on solar energy utilization in agriculture. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vyas. It's an excellent presentation. You cover all the sector, all the scenario, and I think today we learn a lot from your presentation. Thank you so much on behalf of Government of Gujarat and NCCSD for your presentation, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Now I request Shri Rohit Bhai from the VRJ Bhavnagar. Rohit Bhai, you are with us? Now I request to Sachin Bhai Shah from the Star Energy for his presentation. Sachin Bhai, you are with us, right?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Ha, namaste, Sachin Bhai. Yeah.
Namaste.
Thank you for your presentation.
Just a second, ma'am. I'm just starting my camera.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Kirit sir, namaste. Thank you very much, ma'am, for giving me an opportunity to talk on this subject. Very honestly, I'm from the solar industry and I have been into the business for almost about 20 years in this industry. I'm also associated with Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I'm also associated with the Federation for FEDSME. And since it is all about industry, I've been observing the presentations of the past speakers that they have been giving. I have not prepared any presentation, so I just want to give you a glimpse about the existing policies that are happening right now in India, and particularly in Gujarat. I would like to talk about the solar rooftop, particularly in Gujarat. Sir, can I continue with this flow?
Yes, sir.
Is that okay? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. See, the biggest challenge that we are facing right now all across India is with the state DISCOMs not allowing the rooftop connectivity. If you see the presentation of one of my earlier, panelist who has already shown the figures of MNRE, where Gujarat has achieved about 1 gigawatt of solar rooftop projects in Gujarat alone, whereas the nearest neighboring state is Rajasthan, which has done about 30 megawatt kind of installations. The 3 megawatt kind of installations, and particularly residential rooftop projects that we are talking about. Most of the DISCOMs are considering the solar energy as a threat, and they are not considering the solar energy as an alternative energy and supportive energy to their demand. And that is where actually the problem lies too. Most of the states are not able to, state DISCOMs are not able to give the opportunity to connect these solar systems to the grid in other states. Whereas in Gujarat, it is a proactive model. Gujarat has already shown a way to the industry, and Gujarat has prepared, GUVNL has prepared an exhaustive presentation for MNRE, as well as they are likely to give a presentation to the other state nodal agencies also and the DISCOMs also, that this is not a profit, this is not a business, loss-making business. It is going to be a profit-making business for the DISCOMs, and particularly Gujarat-based DISCOMs are making profit out of this, and they are not into loss due to solar energy, 1 gigawatt of solar energy addition. So particularly the ROI sector, ROI of this system, the solar rooftop system is having the return on investment less than 3 years. That is 30% of return on investment. If you see, this is only the product where you get 30%, more than 30% of return on investment. And this is the power cost, which was shown earlier, is much less than the conventional power procurement cost of the DISCOMs, state DISCOMs. So I would like to highlight here what I would like to highlight here is that we as a state, we should insist Niti Aayog to make this kind of presentations to the state DISCOMs and bring them together on one platform and make them comfortable. Actually, the state DISCOMs are not comfortable, and DISCOMs are not comfortable for two reasons. One, on one side, they have a revenue model which earns their bread and butter from the sale of power, and on another side, the solar power generation, they feel that the solar power generation is actually killing their market. So that is why they are not proactive. They are not actually giving the connectivity to the grid. And that is the reason of failure of solar rooftop program, all other states across the India except Gujarat. So I think Gujarat model need to be displayed. Kirit sir, I suggest if I can share you a presentation. I'll try to get you the presentation from Torrent Power and UGVCL also, the GUVNL also. They have prepared an exhaustive presentation, particularly for the presentation to MNRE. So I'll try if I can get you that presentation, and that is speaking about how the success model of Gujarat and how it can be replicated all across India. Sir.
Thank you.
I'll try to get that to you, sir. But sir, the second most important subject that I would like to touch upon is the regulatory framework that we need to have in. Most of the states are having the policies, but policies sometimes are not regulated by, approved by the regulatory authority. Particularly, let me talk about Gujarat. We have one particular policy where GERC conducted the rooftop net metering, that is PV grid interactive system, the third amendment regulation, which was published on 29/6/2021, and the hearing was concluded in September 21. And as of today, we still are pending the GERC approval or GERC hearing on that subject. So it has been delayed for almost about 6 months, and for past 6 months, there is complete, chaos in the industry, whether we are having the net metering or we are having the gross metering or we are having the 11 hours metering. So when state is progressive, when state has got the policy in place, the regulator should also implement that particular policy, or to have a proactive approach to the to the policy, to the implementation of that policy. So that is also one aspect that we need to talk to Niti Aayog on this subject also, sir.
I think we can include these all the points if you are just prepare one notes and you just send us. So then we can include the recommendations form, and then we can do a follow up with the other institutions also.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I think I've put up my perspective as an industry, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. So that's why I'm saying it today we are lucky. We have a stakeholder like pharma organizations, university professors, scientists, industry people, scientists, experts, management experts. That's why in the initial I just shared. Today is a very unique combination of this webinar. Thank you so much for your presentation and for your point. It's very much valid. And thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you so much. On behalf of NCCST and the government of Gujarat, we're really thankful to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now I request to Ramesh Nair from the Adani. Ramesh bhai, you are with us? I request Ramesh Nair. I request Short Patil, he is from the former JEDA officers. Patil sir, you are with us? I request Sunil Trivedi ji from the Green Hub. Sir, you are with us? Today we have Lakshmana Reddy sir. Then initially I just shared we have Kaniyalal ji. We have Pramod sir from the JAU. I will then the Seema ji. I would like to request and urge Dr. Sri Lakshmana Reddy for his guidance. Sir. I request and urge to Sri Lakshmana Reddy for his guidance. Sir, you are with us? We have a MD sir of the Uttar Gujarat Beach Company Limited. I request MD sir for his guidance. MD sir is with us.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Namaste sir, good afternoon.
First of all, I congratulate Dr. Sailad Saab for the nice presentations and very good program for the Atmanirbhar Bharat. And very, the first presentation was an excellent presentation, I tell you, from Dr. Rajendra Sende. Very good. They made that university should be the focal point for the propagation of the solar energy and other renewable energies. Very mind-blowing points they have raised. In Gujarat, we are doing no doubt very good for the solar rooftop projects. And sir, in my first presentation also, we have given the details to Sailad Saab, NCCDS, SD. And further, there is a lot of potential, sir, for the solar rooftop program. Now, our DISCOMs are going in the rural areas also. Firstly, we were concentrating in the urban areas. Now, we have made a point in UGVCL that every village should have at least one solar project in the village. Then our idea is that they will act as the propagation model for other villages. Suppose if one villager will have the project, then he will share with the other villagers, and they will see. Seeing is the belief, and that they will definitely believe that this system is very useful, and then the other people will come. Now, in my the UGVCL company, we are making it compulsory, and this is I have given target to every zone, every deputy engineer, that you have to make one project, at least one project in every village, and for that we are giving prize also, and this will give the local dissemination to the masses. Otherwise, to reach to send the scheme to the village level, it is very difficult. For the to disseminate it, it is a big challenge for us to disseminate it in the real sense. I feel, this is my personal, I have started it now, that the model should be self-explanatory. But the issue in this, if we are getting one or two customer in the village, then our companies, those who have to install, they are having a lot of difficulties, and because that they have to install one project in the village, and cost is much more, transportation cost, etc. Now we are trying that we should make 4-5 projects so that cost will be cost effective. It will be there. This innovation I want to share with this August gathering, that in India, if we want to make it a success, solar in the villages, that should be percolated in a better way. And villages don't believe. Even another point is that most of our schemes, we are having many schemes of Government of India and Government of Gujarat, of many departments. But problem is the dissemination of that schemes in the rural areas is a big challenge for the government. So until unless we have to demonstrate those schemes in the villages, it is very difficult. Otherwise, most of the schemes, most of the policies remain in the books, and dissemination is very poor. Sometimes we think that buses pe humne laga diya hai, abhi sabko pata chal jayega. It's very difficult, because even being an officer also, we are not aware of most of the schemes of other departments. Then how can we expect that the villager should have all the knowledge and all the wisdom to know all the schemes of all the departments? It's very difficult. So our role is that every department, but that I am requesting Sellat Saab that should be taken in this thing. Not in energy department, in other departments also, that should reach to the villages. Then the villager will pick the scheme. Otherwise, my question is, there must be, there is a vis-a-vis relationship also. If a villager will not accept it, it means there is some fault in our policy and our scheme, drafting of our scheme or implementation of scheme, or financial problem may be there for that scheme. Sometimes we make schemes theoretical, which are not being accepted by the local masses. Then that should be, some modification should be done as per their will and wish. And then our policies and this thing will be more successful. I want to share this thing. Thanks for giving me time and opportunity to share this with this August gathering. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your guidance. And you just pointed out very important thing, dissemination. And you always, I remember since last 7 to 8 years experience when we are working with you, you always say dissemination, implementation is the most important thing. Lots of things we have, but how we can disseminate it and how we can implement it, then other can add up. So thank you so much for your time and for your guidance, and you always support NCCSD and always guide us. So on behalf of the Government of Gujarat, sir, Department of Energy and Petrochemical, and the NCCSD, we're really thankful to you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a Kanhaiya Bhai. We have a Dr. Pramod from the Junagadh Agriculture University. Dr. Pramod, you would like to share something because you are from the Junagadh Agriculture University. So if you have any expertise and you would like to share, Dr. Pramod.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Namaste.
Madam.
Good afternoon. Dr. Sellat sir, all the dignitaries. I'm thankful to the Sellat sir and Nisa madam for inviting us for a very wonderful webinar, and very informative information has been given by the various scientists and industrialists from the subject. And I would like to add here, in our Junagadh Agriculture University, almost in every building we have got the rooftop system, solar rooftop system, agrivoltaic system. We are doing majority of crops, especially vegetable crops, under the solar system. So, and very good results has been obtained, and we have given the recommendation for the farmers. And now we are replicating these items in the various our KVKs. The KVKs so that the farmers can get the information from that. So almost all the hostel building, all college building, research station building, we have got solar rooftop system and very good carbon content we have obtained. I would like to add here that this type of program should be continued in future also, and I will attend this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your guidance. We have a Sadhguru Foundation. And his colleague. We have Manu Bhai and Jhala Bhai and Jagdish Bhai. So first I request to Sadhguru Foundations and then request to BRTI Bhavnagar Amreli team if you would like to share something because they are doing lots of important initiatives in this area. So Kaniyalal Bhai, you would like to add something? You would like to share something? Sadhguru Foundation? Manu Bhai and Jhala Bhai, Jagdish Bhai, you would like to share something and you would like to share your initiative.
Excuse me, madam. कन्हैया जी शायद अभी नहीं है. मैं मनहर पटेल बोल रहा हूँ सदगुरु फाउंडेशन से.
I know, that's why I say कि if Sadhguru Foundations would like to share something, yes sir, बोलिए.
जी. हम लोग भी सदगुरु फाउंडेशन से पिछले 12 साल से सोलर एनर्जी का उपयोग कर रहे हैं ग्रामीण इलाकों में जहां बिजली नहीं पहुंच पाई है. वहां पे शुरू हमने ड्रिंकिंग वाटर से किया था. सोलर के पीवी से पैनल्स का उपयोग करके हमने, क्योंकि यहाँ की जो एक मुश्किलात ये था कि पीने के पानी के लिए बहुत समस्या थी, तो उसको हल करने के लिए हमने सोलर एनर्जी को पीने के पानी की स्कीम में यूज करने का हमने तय किया था. तो गांव वालों से भी हमने बात की, फंडिंग एजेंसी से भी बात की. तो 12 साल पहले हमने सबसे पहला सोलर ड्रिंकिंग वाटर स्कीम बनाया था हमने, कि जिसकी जो मोटर थी पंप सेट जो सोलर से चलता था. बाकी जो नेटवर्क है वो अपना नॉर्मल जो ड्रिंकिंग वाटर का हाउस टू हाउस टैप कनेक्शन उसी प्रकार का था. सिर्फ हमारे मॉडल में फर्क ये था कि नॉर्मल जो मोटर है वो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी से चलती है. हमारे यहाँ मोटर जो पीवी पैनल से सोलर एनर्जी को इलेक्ट्रिसिटी में कन्वर्ट करके हम यूज कर रहे थे. तो हमने ऐसे अभी तक 25 प्रोजेक्ट हमने किए हैं विद सोलर एनर्जी ड्रिंकिंग वाटर के. तो अनुभव बहुत अच्छा है. हेलो.
हाँ सर.
हाँ, तो हमारा अनुभव बहुत अच्छा है. ग्रामीण इलाकों में सोलर एनर्जी को टैप करके काफी अच्छा इस्तेमाल हो सकता है. जैसे आगे प्रेजेंटेशन में बताया था कि आटा चक्की के लिए भी सोलर एनर्जी का उपयोग हो सकता है. हम लोगों ने यहाँ एक जो हमारे कोऑपरेटिव फेडरेशन है, तो जो स्पाइस प्रोसेसिंग का यूनिट हमारा ये है वो भी पूरा सोलर पैनल से चल रहा है, सोलर एनर्जी से चल रहा है. उसमें जो ग्राइंडर है, अलग अलग स्पाइस ग्राइंड करने की मशीन है, सॉर्टिंग मशीन है, वो सारी चीजों के लिए हम सोलर एनर्जी का यूज करते हैं. वो भी काफी अच्छा अनुभव है. तो टेक्नोलॉजी तो काफी अच्छी है, प्रूवन है. तो जैसे पहले एक सर ने बताया कि उसके डिबेट के लिए हमको कुछ नहीं करना है, बस इसके लिए आगे कैसे जा सकते हैं, उसका ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रमोट कैसे कर सकते हैं, और खास करके हमारे ग्रामीण जो इलाकों में खेतीबाड़ी में किसान भाई लोग इसका कैसे इस्तेमाल कर पाए बढ़िया से, और ताकि उनकी खुद की इनकम में भी बढ़ावा हो, क्योंकि इसमें खर्चा कुछ नहीं है. तो जो डीजल के पीछे या इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, कन्वेंशनल इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के पीछे जो खर्च होता है उसमें काफी बचत हो सकती है. और साथ साथ जो एक एनवायरमेंटल फ्रेंडली एक एनर्जी सोर्स है, तो डीजल से जो पॉल्यूशन होता है वो सारी चीजें भी बहुत कम हो सकती है. हमने पिछले 2 साल से एग्रीकल्चर के जो अंदर जो इरिगेशन की जरूरत पड़ती है, सिंचाई की, तो सिंचाई के लिए एक थोड़ा जागरण किया था कि जो जहां पावर सप्लाई नहीं गई है अभी तक, क्योंकि गुजरात में यूएनएल का, एमजीवीसीएल का यहाँ पे डिस्कॉम है, तो काफी अच्छा नेटवर्क है. तो एग्रीकल्चर की लाइंस जहां जहां पहुंच पाई है वहां तो लोग कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जहां नहीं पहुंची है वहां पे लोग डीजल इंजन का इस्तेमाल करते हैं इरिगेशन के लिए. तो हमने एक चलाया था मुहिम के भी डीजल इंजन को रिप्लेस करते हैं हम. तो साथ में देखा था कि सरकार से क्या योजनाएं चल रही है। तो सरकार की जो पीएम कुसुम योजना है, तो उसमें हमने एक पोटेंशियल देखा कि इसमें अगर लाभ लिया जाए किसानों को तैयार करके तो काफी अच्छा कन्वर्जन हो सकता है। लोगों की थोड़ी मुश्किलात भी थी कि उसमें जो 40% शेयर भरना आता था।
हाँ,
हम लोगों ने कुसुम बी में काम किया जो स्टैंड एलोन पंप सेट पे। तो वो दिक्कत, क्योंकि ट्राइबल फार्मर है तो उसके लिए 10-20 हजार से ज्यादा निकालना पॉसिबल नहीं होता है एक साथ। तो हम लोगों ने फिर सोचा कि क्यों ना छोटे छोटे ग्रुप बनाए जाए 5-5, 6-6 फार्मर के, और ग्रुप को किसी एक फार्मर के नाम से हम प्रमोट करेंगे, जिसका MGUSNL के जरूरत के हिसाब से जो भी डॉक्यूमेंट है वो सबमिट करे, और उनका एक ग्रुप बना के इरिगेशन का बेनिफिट वो लोग ले। और साथ में हमने सोलर के साथ हमने ड्रिप एंड मल्च टेक्नोलॉजी का भी उपयोग हम लोगों ने किया है उसमें, ताकि जो अवेलेबल वाटर है उसका भी जुडिशियस यूज हो, और जो एग्रीकल्चर प्रोड्यूस जो तैयार होगा, खास करके हमने वेजिटेबल टारगेट किया है कि जब हम इतना ऐसा अच्छा पैसा खर्चा डाल प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर आगे जा रहे हैं, लोगों की इनकम बढ़ाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, तो उसके अंदर हमको ये भी देखना है कि इसका जो रेट ऑफ रिटर्न जो है वो जल्द से जल्द हो सके। तो इसलिए हमने हाई वैल्यू क्रॉप में उन सब फार्मर को जोड़ा, और सभी फार्मर, लास्ट ईयर हमने 50 इस तरीके के स्कीम्स लिए थे, तो ऑन एन एवरेज लगभग 250 फार्मर को इसका बेनिफिट अभी मिल रहा है और काफी अच्छा अनुभव रहा है। तो इस प्रकार से हम इस बार भी, अभी कुसुम बी का पोर्टल शुरू होगा तो हमारे पास काफी लंबी लिस्टिंग आई है फार्मर्स की, काफी फार्मर्स में उत्साह है, और हम लोग इस बार तकरीबन 100 पंप सेट लगाने की हम कोशिश में है, और 100 पंप के हमारे पास 150 नाम आ चुके फार्मर के अभी तक, कि हमें भी डीजल पंप सेट रिमूव करके हम भी सोलर से करें, क्योंकि उन लोगों ने भी देखा है, हम लोगों ने इंटरनल एक्सपोजर विजिट भी करवाई फार्मर के जहां जहां काम हुआ है वहां पे, तो ये काफी अच्छा है। तो हमारा अनुभव इस तरीके से मैंने शेयर किया आपके सामने। तो सोलर एनर्जी इज गुड फॉर गो, इट्स ओके। थैंक यू मैम।
Madhurabhai Patil sir, thank you so much for your sharing, because this is the main important thing कि जैसे आपने बताया वो ही कि 25 प्रोजेक्ट लगाए, 250 फार्मर्स को बेनिफिट हुआ। तो ये इम्पोर्टेंट है कि फार्मर्स को बेनिफिट हो और उनको ऐसे लगता है कि नहीं हमारी ये जरूरत है, डिमांड क्रिएट होनी चाहिए, और वहां पे हमको कहाँ पे दिक्कत आती है और हमको कैसे उसको सॉल्व करना है, वो दिस इज द मेन। जैसे आपने बताया कि 150 एप्लीकेशन आ गई है, अभी आपको वो उसका क्राइटेरिया 100 है लेकिन डिमांड 150 है। दिस इज द मेन इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग इन द रोल ऑफ द अवर इंस्टीट्यूशन, कैसे डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन फार्मर्स को दिखाए और उसको एडॉप्ट करवाए।
जी मैडम,
फॉर योर प्रेजेंटेशन। एंड सर, अगर आपको लगता है कि कोई पॉलिसी इश्यूज है तो प्लीज शेयर विद अस थ्रू मेल और किसी भी तरह से व्हाट्सएप से आप कन्हैयालाल जी से बात करिएगा, क्योंकि अगर आपको लगता है कि ये प्रोजेक्ट में अगर कोई पॉलिसी इश्यूज अगर आपने बताया उसमें काफी कुछ आ जाता है लेकिन फिर भी कुछ रह जाता है, तो काइंडली शेयर विद अस सो वी कैन इनकॉर्पोरेट इन द डॉक्यूमेंट। थैंक यू सो मच।
अभी एक जस्ट आधे मिनट में बताना चाहूंगा कि वैसे गवर्नमेंट का एफर्ट बहुत ही अच्छा है, कुसुम बी स्कीम जो है बहुत ही अच्छी है, और ज्यादा से ज्यादा फार्मर को इसका बेनिफिट लेना चाहिए। लेकिन मेन हर्डल है कि इसका जो पूरा जो प्रोसेस का जो है, इसका टाइम फ्रेम है वो बहुत लंबा है। पूरा सीजन 90 डेज का प्रोसेस है उसका पूरा। एप्लीकेशन देने के बाद पंप इंस्टॉल होने में 90 डेज लगते हैं।
एग्जैक्टली।
इट कैन बी रिड्यूस्ड, वो 30 डेज हो सकता है। उसमें कुछ प्रयास होने चाहिए कि वो थोड़ा जल्दी हो जाए। 90 डेज पूरा उसका सीजन निकल जाता है। अब फार्मर को पहले से तैयार करना, उतना सारा फिर वेट करना, वो भी काफी वो होता है। तो मैं एग्जांपल दूंगा अपने ही सरकार की ही कंपनी GGRC का। GGRC काफी अच्छा है, उनका ऑनलाइन पोर्टल है, सेम पोर्टल ये भी है MGUSNL का पोर्टल, ठीक है। तो लेकिन GGRC से थोड़ा इसमें सीखना चाहिए, उनका काफी फास्ट है। बहुत जल्दी हो जाता है। और फार्मर को तो जाने की GRC जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ती है फार्मर को। जो डीलर है, डीलर के थ्रू पूरा काम होता है और इतना फास्ट होता है, क्योंकि हम लोग ड्रिप एंड स्प्रिंकलर भी हम उसमें प्रमोट कराते हैं, तो हमको पता है 1 या 2 फ्लो में तो पूरा हो जाता है। पेपर्स दे दिए तो बाकी का काम जो है अपने आप आगे चलता है। ऑफिस में जाने की किसी को जरूरत नहीं पड़ती GRC के किसी को पकड़ने की। तुरंत में ऑनलाइन है, सुधा ऑनलाइन आ जाता है, वर्क ऑर्डर आता है, सारी चीजें ऐसा। तो उसका थोड़ा टेक्नोलॉजी का अगर इस्तेमाल इसमें करके और प्रोसेस को यदि थोड़ा स्मूथ एंड फास्ट किया जाए तो काफी अच्छा रहेगा इसमें।
Madam, can I have some submission on policy matters?
Sure, yes.
I'm Dr. PM Chauhan, Professor Head and Renewable Energy Department in Junagadh Agriculture University, Junagadh. Here I would like to specifically mention about the agrivoltaic system. I have also attended one Indo-German member forum, and it was discussed at that time also that presently agrivoltaic system, which is a very good type system for the rural community or to generate the solar energy from the rural areas. So agrivoltaic system, it is above the crop there is a solar power plant. So farmer can cultivate the crop under the solar photovoltaic power plant. And we have already designed and developed a plant so that a crop can be cultivated easily under this kind of the plant without any loss of the crop. We have tested this kind of our design, JAU model design for 3-4 crops, field crops as well as the vegetables and fruit crops. And we found that in some crops like tomato or even cucumber, the production is better than the even outside. So, and groundnut and cotton is having a less, about 5% loss as compared to open field. So, my submission is that we should have at present, there is no national policy on agrivoltaic system. And therefore, the farmers cannot construct the plant on their own, and because of the very high cost of the solar power plant, and farmer cannot construct their own, or they cannot go for their own plant. But the companies can construct the plant on their farm, and the farmer can use the land there as good as their earlier land. But if there is a loss, then how it can be met, that is the one in policy matter should be decided. So it is necessary that in any law or scheme policy, when cultivable land is used by any company or by a contractor, then how it can be taken up so that the agrivoltaic system will be taken up fastly, and the solar energy or energy can be generated from the agriculture farms. The another thing is some pilot plants should be established. Such type of, we have already designed, we have already the systems, and we have the tested system. So such type of pilot plants, it can be in the certain areas, then it will be a very good examples. Then there is at present there is no regulations on land use with the PV under Indian agricultural legal framework. So some legal framework should be worked out. So to use the agriculture land for the PV plant. Then the financial incentives for the agrivoltaic system in India. How the financial subsidy or the farmers can get the profit from the energy companies. If they are leasing their land to the companies, then how they can get the benefit from that, either through the energy generation point of view or through the cost point of view. So that is that. And then the third thing is that the research program. The research and education is continuous process. So there should be incentives from the government side that this kind of the research should be given priority, so that our rural people also can be benefited through the solar energy point of view. This is my submission. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a very valid point, and we included we note down also. Thank you so much for your contribution, sir. I think it's a very much important. If we have some technical point, then if we include that, then it's beneficial to the real users. Thank you so much to Manharbhai Patel, Sadhguru Foundation, Sarmistra Ban, and Kaniyalal Bhai. Thank you so much to Chauhan sir on behalf of Government of Gujarat and NCCSD, Junagadh University for his guidance.
I am very much thankful to the Dr. Sailor Saib for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much, madam, and I am also thankful to you also. Thank you very much.
બેન VRT જે થોડું કામ કર્યું છે એના વિશે થોડું કેવું હતું. આપણે જયારે કામ હતું, લાઇટ નહોતી, તો અહીંયા આપણે સોલાર હતી અને આપણે અહીંયા એગ્રોસેલ ને આજુબાજુનું જે CSR થાય છે એમાં 200 આપણે છે ને સોલાર ઝટકા મશીન આપ્યા છે બધા ખેડૂતો ડેમોન્સ્ટ્રેશન માટે. પછી આપણા બધા સ્ટાફને સૂર્ય કુકર આપ્યા હતા. તો VRTI આવું નાનું કામ છે એ સોલારનું બચત થાય આપણે એવું કામ VRTI ભાવનગરે પણ કર્યું છે. એટલે મેં કીધું તમને થોડીક માહિતી આપી દઉં.
ना मैंने ख्याल से चला भाई कि वो बहुत अच्छा काम हुआ है भावनगर में, एंड आप लोगों की सब टीम में साथ रह के सोलर के ऊपर बहुत काम कर रहे हैं. इसीलिए मैंने बोला कि आप हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हो. जगदीश भाई है, मनु है, अगर आपको कुछ बात करनी है तो आप ये फोरम में बात कर सकते हो. आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आपने अपनी बात बताई. एंड आप लोग बहुत अच्छा काम करते हो, वो सब मतलब देखा हुआ है, सब लोग जानते भी है.
थैंक यू मैडम.
और किसी को कुछ शेयर करना है? एनी पॉलिसी?
मैडम सदगुरु फाउंडेशन से 2 इंटरवेंशन जो ऐसे किए हैं वो शेयर करना में थोड़ा मिस हो गया था. एक जैसे हमने सोलर स्पाइस सेंटर अभी हमारा रन हो रहा है, उस हिसाब से हम लोगों ने ग्रामीण एरिया में जो वेजिटेबल के कोल्ड स्टोरेज भी बनाए हैं. हम लोगों ने 3 जगह पे 3 यूनिट बनाए हैं. 5-5 मेट्रिक टन का उनका कैपेसिटी है, ताकि फार्मर्स को वेजिटेबल पिक करते हैं वो खराब न हो जाए, क्योंकि दूसरे दिन वो मॉर्निंग में जब भेजने होते हैं तो आफ्टरनून वो हार्वेस्ट करते हैं, तो रात के टाइम में भी वो खराब न हो जाए उसके लिए हम लोगों ने एक कोल्ड स्टोरेज डेवलप किए है वहां पे. तो दे आर ऑल्सो रन ऑन सोलर एनर्जी पूरा. तो सोलर वेजिटेबल कोल्ड स्टोरेज भी हम लोग प्रमोट कर रहे हैं. और अभी एक हमारा लिफ्ट इरिगेशन स्कीम, कम्युनिटी लिफ्ट इरिगेशन स्कीम तैयार है. थोड़ा सा काम बाकी है 15-20 दिन का, विच विल बी द बिग वन. 30 हॉर्स पावर है उसका कैपेसिटी. 30 हॉर्स पावर का मोटर्स है, 15-15 के 2 मोटर है. और 160 एकड़ में लगभग 90 फार्मर्स को उसका बेनिफिट मिलेगा इरिगेशन पानी का, इरिगेशन के पानी का. और टोटल कैपेसिटी उसका स्कीम का 30 HP है. 30 HP जो कि हम करने जा रहे हैं पूरा है, क्योंकि हम लोगों ने वो जो पंप सेट देखे 5 के, 7.5 के, 10 के ऐसे, अभी ये थोड़ा हमने बड़ा स्कीम डिजाइन किया है और इम्प्लीमेंटेशन अभी फाइनल स्टेज में है.
Thank you so much. The objective of this type of webinar and all this interaction is like, आप लोग सब जानते हो कि आज से 10 साल पहले या 15 साल पहले हम ऐसे देखते थे, तो ऐसे हम लोग ये फोटोग्राफ देखते हैं कि जब बहनें मोबाइल यूज कर रही है या बच्चे यूज कर रहे हैं तो हमको ऐसे स्ट्रेंज कि हाँ सब लोग यूज कर रहे हैं. लेकिन आज तो हमारे लिए कॉमन हो गया है. वैसे ही कोई भी टेक्नोलॉजी हो, वो सोलर हो या कोई भी टेक्नोलॉजी हो, लेकिन इनिशियली सब लोग कैसे यूज करें और कैसे उसको अपस्केल करें, ये हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव है. यस श्रवण जी, आप कुछ
यस मैम.
यस
am I audible मैम?
यस सर. नहीं, अभी आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है सर. अभी भी नहीं आ रहा है. नो, आपका आवाज क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? अभी आपका आवाज आ रहा था, अभी एकदम से कैसे बंद हो गया? योर माइक इज નિલેશ ભાઈ
માઇક ઓન છે નિશાબેન, કોઈ પ્રોબ્લેમ નથી, ખબર નહીં.
હા, મને સ્ટ્રેન્જ લાગે એટલે માટે. યસ શ્રવણભાઈ. ओके, एनी अदर, जब तक वो हमारे साथ जुड़ते हैं और किसी को कुछ अपना शेयर करना हो और स्पेशली कुछ पॉलिसी के लेवल के कोई इश्यू हो तो आप हमको प्लीज गाइड कीजिए. सो आई थिंक आज का जो हमारा वेबिनार है उसके अंत में हम लोग पहुंच गए हैं. सो ये जो पूरे प्रेजेंटेशंस हुए उसके ऊपर से नाउ वी रीच ऑन द कंक्लूडिंग सेशन एंड फॉर द थैंक्स ऑफ द ऑल द स्पीकर्स. सो आई थिंक श्रवण जी, आप मेरा आवाज सुन सकते हो?
Am I audible, ma'am, now?
Yes, perfect, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Sorry for that technical glitch.
Yes.
I feel fortunate for getting an opportunity to participate in this platform because all the university professors and all the keynote speakers from industries and policy making organizations are joined here, and I got a wonderful information to learn. Myself, J. Shravan Kumar, ma'am. Actually, I'm working as an assistant professor for the Department of Renewable Energy, Anand Agriculture University at Godhra.
Okay.
So actually, I understand actually with the very first presentation given by the Dr. Shindeji. So he highlighted actually the key responsibilities of the universities working for to work together regarding this solar projects and all. So I personally feel, ma'am, there is a huge responsibility on the universities to actually aggressively work on the research oriented things, particularly for solar. Truly speaking, the technology that is advancing in solar systems, solar system in the sense, right from solar panel to its integration to the grid, a lot of aspects are there. One is a panel. There are a lot of advancements. Earlier, in the large area, we are getting less kilowatt of power, but nowadays we in the less space, we are getting more kilowatts. So that's where one needs to work. And the other thing is the advancements in the battery technologies, advancements in the inverters. So each and every university has its own responsibility to work in the different aspects, different areas throughout the system. One is not only on the solar panels, in the balance of the systems also, there's a lot of work to take up by the universities. When it comes to particularly for solar, it's a global concept, but when it comes to its working, it's actually the local thing. So industries can manufacture the panels, they can give their ratings of the panels, but it's not that everywhere the same rating of the panel can give the same output from in every place. So there is a regional wise research is very much required. And this has to be, this is the responsibility of the university, what we feel. So we have to take up our own regional wise research in the solar regarding which panel is suitable for which applications. As from JU, Dr. PM Chauhan sir has highlighted, they are working on the agrivoltaics. Even in agrivoltaics also, what kind of a panels, what is the height of the panels, what kind of a crop should be, everything has to be worked on. So regional research of the solar has to be taken up by the universities and who are interested in this research point of view. We at Anand Agriculture University, along with the available polycrystalline, monocrystalline solar panels, we are actually working on the bifacial solar panels also, where we can extract or we can tap the energy from both the phases of the panel, and we are actually looking for the feasibility of what is the height, what will be the optimum height for what kind of an application. So we are actually working on the bifacial panels at the Anand Agriculture University. In the last year itself, we have taken up the project, and a lot more other members of the speakers have highlighted in somebody worked on the survey, somebody, Sir UGVCL MD sir has highlighted. So as an individual, it's not that I should know all the policies. So this platform has really created an opportunity for us to know who are working in which area, and realizing the fact from the Shindeji, the universities of the responsibility, we would like to work in the areas, and as a individual and as a unit of the universities, we would like to work together to come up with good policies and good research, qualitative research works. So this is what I would like to share, ma'am. So the key point in my words are regional research on the suitability and the feasibility of the panels or for different applications. And thank you very much for giving an opportunity, ma'am.
Thank you so
much. From my side, I would like to just one thing I would like to submit that in our Junagadh Agriculture University agrivoltaic model, we have designed a computerized system, and height, then what is the shadow effect, and everything is we have analyzed, and we have also filed the patent for that. So our system is under the register. We have already registered for the patent, and we have noticed that there is no loss of the production under this, and easily all the operations, field operations, can be done without any obstacles. So this is our novel type of design, and only thing is that in our Indo-German that forum also, that is how the government make the policy to take this kind of the agrivoltaic system in field. That is at present it is required, so that the land problem is not is not there for the companies and those who are interested for the manufacturing such type of plant.
True, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution, sir, and thank you so much from Dana University Professor, sir, who pointed out very important point. And thank you so much to all the participants. Anyone would like to share anything? We have some time, and this is a very interesting and very interactive session. So if anyone, because I mentioned all the names, but if anyone left out, I request kindly just share their expertise and guide us. So आज के वेबिनार के हम अंत में पहुंच गए हैं. So first of all, I thank you so much to our keynote speaker Rajendra Shendeji, who gave us the time and consent, and today's interaction is very helpful and very interesting. Thank you so much to Niti Aayog, who guide us, who give us this opportunity, and who help us a lot for this identification of the speakers at the national level and even in the state level also. Thank you so much to all the Agricultural University of the Sardar Kushinagar, Vice Chancellor Sir, and the college dean and all the team members, Junagadh University Chauhan Sir and Pramod Sir, Dana University Professor Sir, and Vyas and Vice Chancellor, all the Vice Chancellors Sir, who contributed lots of things today, and we always get the support from all the universities. So we're really thankful to all universities, organizations. We are Roha, Mandvi, and Bhavnagar, Amreli, foundations, and other organizations who have participated today. I really thankful to you. Thank you so much to industries, Sachin Bhai, Shah, and Manoj Kumar Upadhyay, Praveen Saxena, Mukherjee, and Abhinav Trivedi ji. Thank you so much to all. Thank you so much to Department of the Energy and the Petrochemical Department, who always with us. Today also he convey their unavailability because they have a meeting. Thank you so much for providing this opportunity and the partnership. So we're really thankful to each and every speakers and the participants who are participated, and they share their experience. Thank you so much to Malay Bhai for taking all the notes, Dr. Acharya sir for the participations. I think if I am taking, I am start names, then I think it's a long list, but really thankful on behalf of the department and NCCSD to each and every participants and the speakers for this webinar, for their time. And thank you so much to Sharat Sahib giving us the opportunity of different subjects. So we learn a lot.
The seminar so well. And today is Nisha's birthday. So let us wish her a happy birthday on behalf of
Happy birthday, madam. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Give you this appreciation. So, thank you so much to each and every key speakers and respected all the experts. And I think we'll keep in touch with you. And when we form the policies, if anything we will share with you. So thank you so much, and thank you so much to SSC team, Nilesh Bhai, and all the team members for this successful webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.